The year is 2577 TC. We use the Thelmesian calendar. We always have. Even after Thelmesia was destroyed. They say it was supposed to be a shield, a defensive measure against monsters, to bring Thelmesia into a new age, a utopia at the center of the world. Some time ago we began weaving magic into our technology. We called it Arcanii. But it was too strong. Weapons capable of atomizing entire cities. Shields that should have saved lives, but instead tore them away. They outlawed it, the world over. Most continents didn't even have it in the first place, but now no one does, supposedly. Some low-level Arcanii remains. The Arcanii engines that power the trains. Alexandria even has a few airships now. Seems the Arcanii Inquisition let that one slip. Well, I managed to get a hold of one of those engines. Plugged it into something I found in the sunken ruins of Thelmesia. A few nuts and bolts here, a little alchemical touch there, and a simple cantrip to hold it all together. I'm a scientist, that's all. I just want to see what happens when I fire it up. Will it fall apart? Maybe. Will it reduce all of Lacrin to dust? Hopefully not. Will it punch through into the heavens themselves and take from the gods what they took from me? I fucking hope so.
Not again.
Technical difficulties.
Hello, everybody. Yes, hello. It's me, Pumpkinberry, with the second night in a row of sound issues right at the beginning. Every single time I update the GoXLR, it changes all of my profiles. It's really great because I have hundreds of them for all the different Tablestory shows. Okay, well, hopefully this won't destroy itself now. Hi,
well,
players.
You managed to fix it in like a minute. Mine took 20, so.
It's because this has happened to me about 5 times now, and I'm like, oh, that's that again. Thank God I know how to fix it. We'll see. Maybe. I think.
Where were you yesterday?
It could go all wrong. Well, I have no idea what you were doing yesterday. That was crazy. It was funny though, kinda. You know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's kind of just okay.
Laugh at my pain.
As stressful as it is for you, like, because I know exactly how you felt then. I was like,
yeah.
oh, it's the worst. But I don't think anyone minds. It feels like the spotlight's on you and you feel crazy, but it wasn't too bad. If you don't know what we're talking about, there was a one-shot. No, it wasn't a one-shot. It's a
It's a mini-series, yeah.
Called Reaper Relay last night, in which Pumpkinberry totally screwed everything up.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it wasn't that bad at all.
Nice
It was really
try.
good, though. It was really good. I watched the whole thing, and I don't know anything about Mass Effect, and it's about Mass Effect. And I was so invested, and then I looked up what Katie Peters plays alien race was supposed to be at the end, and it all made sense. You know?
About me?
Yeah.
Oh, like that I did an okay job being
yeah,
a
like
Solarian?
I was like watching it, like, what is that all about? And then I looked it up, and I was like, oh, that's what
Thank
it's
God.
about. Yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. If you want to see it, it's called Reaper Relay. But this is B Team, the B Squad, the lesser team.
Wow.
How dare you?
Maybe
That does sting.
does
a
it
little
mean
bit.
does it mean that you're the lesser team?
Not really. No.
Or does
No.
it just mean that, you know, they needed to call you something?
We're more important, so we just need to keep a lower
Is there even an
profile.
A team? You guys have never
So
met them.
They just
Oh.
downplay us a little bit.
But we do know there is an A team, right?
I don't think you know anything. You know.
Wow.
You know.
That was Brad speaking to PB, by the way.
You don't know.
We're told that there's
You're
an
told a
Asian.
lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're playing a. It's a secondary campaign wrapped within the main campaign, somewhat, and a set of. It's almost like his own mini-series, almost a set of one-shots, kinda, set aside from the main campaign. Usually we have most of these wonderful people take out Tuesday, replace her with Disby Arix, and that's the usual crew going on a sort of save the world situation campaign where they're wandering all over the place doing all sorts of stuff. Every now and then we're going to switch to these guys pretty much exclusively when someone is missing for whatever reason. Disby's traveling back to the Philippines, so I was like, let's sideswipe over to these guys. And you're playing the B Team, and it's both the B Team sort of as a B campaign thing, and also in character you guys are playing the Inquisition. In my setting of D&D, there is an Inquisition who were set up to... they're like the FBI, basically, but they're kind of worse and better and not, and more confusing because there's all magic and stuff. That imagine if the FBI had to deal with magic. It's that.
Fringe. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. So, in terms of what, generally what it is, I think last time I explained it pretty well, but just to give you a reminder, the Inquisition have been around forever. Although a couple of 100 years ago, there was a new division that was created outside of the usual duties of the Inquisition, who are usually just kind of looking into, hardcore investigative stuff. Outside of any real nation, they created the Arcanii Inquisition. Now, Arcanii is a term that you're going to hear every now and then. It's essentially it's magitech. It's technology that has been infused with magic beyond your usual kind of enchanted sword or something like that. Something a little more, things that are way more complex and really, really powerful. They created this Arcanii Inquisition and outlawed any Arcanii in the world because at one point an entire continent called Thelmesia was exploded. Supposedly by an Arcanii machine, and they went, well, we can't mess with this anymore. If people can do that, and we've only just started messing with this stuff, we're going to wreck the entire world. So the Inquisition said no more Arcanii, it's illegal, and then they created the Arcanii Inquisition, which is essentially what you guys are playing. You're playing members of a particular team from the country of Alexandria, the B Team. There are two. There's an A Team and a B Team, as far as you guys are aware. And you're above everything, really. You're above the local law enforcement. You're above kings. You're above emperors. Whenever anyone is suspected of using Arcanii, regardless of who they are, you guys are sent in, and you have the power to do pretty much whatever you want to stop that or acquire the Arcanii on behalf of the Arch-Inquisitor and the Arcanii Inquisition. Any means necessary. You have full authority. You have a license to kill if you want it. As long as you don't kill each other, they're not too happy about that. Try not to kill each other. It's going to happen now that I've said it. Put it in your heads. So, we have done one of these before to remind you guys of kind of what happened. One of your members, Nathan Bell, who's also in the chat, I think, because he changed his name because he provided the character. One of your previous members went missing a few years ago, and your leader, the leader of your team, Sea Stalker, was sent to investigate it. He discovered that Nathan was dead, found in Casper Morth dead, while looking into something, although he couldn't find much out. Eventually, he only found out something about a ship called the Dragonfly, which is apparently an Arcanii enhanced ship that went missing. A few years later on, something came up that led Sea Stalker to go and look into this again. He did so, but he went missing again, and then they sent in the two of you that played in the previous one, Lyra and Cairo, went to Casper Morth to find out what's going on here. Basically, you went there and kicked down the door and said, "The Inquisition's here, bitch." And then you kind of discovered that a lot of people in Casper Morth kind of knew. It seemed like they knew what was going on. with this ship, the Dragonfly. You didn't find any evidence of anything going on with Sea Stalker, but you did find somebody called Geo, who lived on a ship called the Lark. And this was a kind of older man, sort of in his 60s, human looking, and he had a dragonfly tattoo on his neck. He mentioned someone by the name of Cedric, who was a possible leader figure. These are the things that you found out, by the way, that I'm listing off. This person also seemed to know that you were in B Squad, which is way above. Like, no one should ever know that, other than other members of the Inquisition, maybe. And even then, like, you don't know who's in the A Squad, right? So the fact that this random dude that you encountered knew about you kind of got your...
and that we were on the way.
Yeah.
Which was alarming.
Kind of
Yeah,
seemed to
he was
know...
expecting us.
Yeah, he
sort
was.
of knew everything. Which was worrying. He knew your names, kind of who you were, knew that you were coming. He said... He asked you to leave. He just said leave. And you were like, okay. And you guys took the opportunity to withdraw. He said, I'll send you packing back up to the gods if they're still up there. And then you guys left. Really, all you discovered was that there must have been... Your theory was that maybe Sea Stalker had turned heel and had joined them, and that's why they had all the information. I think that was your theory, vague theory that you came up with. You found out... I think it was it. Sometimes I can't tell on my notes whether this is a thing you found out or a thing that I wrote down. But I think that was pretty much it.
Pretty much sums it up, yeah.
You know that the Dragonfly ship and the Dragonfly crew are integral to just an extremely huge Arcanii thing going on. There's something up. And the Dragonfly a couple of years ago seems to be at the center of it. Possibly led either by Geo or by this person Cedric, and that maybe Sea Stalker is involved or with them or something. They've gotten information from somewhere, and really the only option since Nathan is dead is that they got it from Sea Stalker. Unless maybe they tortured it out of Nathan, but Nathan was kind of found... Nathan was found like shot, like he was in a fight, like that he wasn't tortured or anything. Because you did have the... You guys had the body.
There was also something funny about his ship, but I don't think we knew exactly what it was.
He had something funny about his ship. We know outside of character that he had a big Arcanii spider attached to the bottom of it.
But I don't think we knew exactly what it was. I think we knew there was something off with it and potentially magical, but...
Distinct things that you noticed about it was that there was black and yellow paint sort of spilled looking across the bow of the ship, so that if you were to see it, you'd be able to tell what ship it was in the future. So... Every time we do one of these, that intro is going to get longer and longer because I'm going to need to previously on last. It's just the way of it. So if that, hopefully that kind of sums everything up for you guys who are watching, because it's a lot to remember, and it brings you up to the point that we were at when we did the first one. So between the last one and now, it was sort of nighttime when you guys left, and you procured a train. You jumped onto a train and was like, get us out of here, and the conductor was like, sure, you're the Inquisition, I'm going to do that, and took you out of town. And you guys went back to the center of the world. Just a little thingy here. There is, to give you guys an idea of where we are. There it is. Alexandria, the map, if you want it. This is where you guys are. You're in Alexandria. It's a pretty big country. It's originally it was kind of the human continent. There's like a dwarven continent where they say the dwarves come from, an elven one where the elves come from. This is the one that for the most part it seems to be that humans came from, but now it's a very mix and match country. The center of Alexandria is Bologna. It's where Ellie and Bo are from as well. And you guys started last week in Caspian Wharf on the Eastern Peninsula in the middle. So it's only been maybe like 12 to 16 hours since that last thing. You guys, Lyra and Cairo, on a train, went back to Bologna, the capital city. Once you got off that train and maybe headed back to a headquarters that I'm sure you guys have, that I doubt is anything crazy. It's probably a little more than like an underground looking home, that kind of thing, because everything is all very hush-hush. You don't really have like a big flashy Inquisition Central anymore. They used to do that, but they don't anymore. So you guys probably have a hideout of sorts that you guys meet at and work from. Maybe even live in, since you kind of work out of Alexandria and you would know this whole place. And you've probably been everywhere. I think you guys would have arrived immediately, and then been given new orders straight away. And I think our two new players, who are not at all new members, would already have been there, prepared, and maybe even waiting for you guys to show up with like packed bags. All four of you would have met and been given new orders instantly. Let's see. So, the information that you guys gathered sparked a response from the Arch-Inquisitor, like instantly. He told you to head to Solver, which is on the other side. And at the port, find a dwarven cargo ship, which is bound for Darn-Durol, known as the Chandra-La, or Sharandla, even. It's a dwarven god. I always want to say Shangri-La. Find a way on board. You were advised to go undercover and investigate. And you were told that it's likely, and really your mission here is to discover whether one or more members on board this ship are part of the Dragonfly crew. Sometimes, by the way, the Arch-Inquisitor doesn't give you all the information. And I think you guys probably know that. You're just told, do this, with very little context. And I really think that is probably all the information you were given. I'm sure that you guys would have spent... It's a short-ish journey on the train between Casper Morph to Bologna. It's only a few hours, and then a few hours to Solver on as well. So I think you would have had some time to like rest, relax, catch up with each other. I'm sure like Infidelia and Errolpay, you've probably been on a mission maybe together and come back together. You've probably done some small thing, like someone had a brooch that turns into a cat, you know? And they were like, wait, is that an Arcanii or not? And you went and found out that it wasn't. It was just an enchanted brooch. And that's probably it. Like a lot of these things probably pan out like that. And you've cut off a few fingers, pulled a few fingernails, and you're like, oops. Guess it was pretty innocent after all. And then you probably head home. So I think you've probably come off of a mission of your own and then headed straight towards this one and then been caught up immediately into this. Also, last thing. 4 people on a mission is a lot. I don't think you guys ever really go on these missions with... Most of the time you're sent out alone. The only time you'll ever go out as twos and stuff is if it's really dangerous or there's literally like nothing going on, I think. To have 4 of you going means it's probably a big deal. Like something's up. I think those sorts of things would be maybe playing through your minds as you're on the train heading over to Solver. Lyra used to be a sailor. And that's how you got onto the ship. And we're starting on the ship. But how do you think you got everyone on this ship, Lyra?
Oh, I was actually going to ask what kind of, if we're going undercover, what does the ship normally transport? Like, who would normally book passage on it?
It's a cargo ship, but almost every ship has allowances for passengers. People can pay, just to go on a cargo ship. This ship in particular is Captain Starkpike's Dwarven Run. With a dwarven crew, and he's a dwarf. It's a dwarven cargo ship. I think it has a name, but it also doesn't. It's not a ship that we get in the real world, because it's a weird looking, strangely shaped, almost like rhombus diamond shaped thing. Very squat. And it seems to sit very low in the water, and it has like an iceberg element where it goes down very low into the water. It comes up, and it's quite flat along the top, with several sails that run back and forth. There's also an element to this of almost steam engine-y. There's an engine within the ship.
Okay.
But it seems to be pretty much still a sailing vessel. The crew is only five people on the crew, including the captain, and there are other passengers that you can see that were, just paying him a few coins to get on the ship. The ship is heading from Solva to Gurngan, which is a place in Dondarol, which is the dwarven continent. On the world map, because you guys have a world map, and I'll give you it again. You're heading from, I hope this works out for Roll20. Nope, not really, but yeah, kind of. Alexandria, and you go around the Thelmesian ruins, because no ship can go over there. It's like the Bermuda Triangle now. Alexandria to Dondarol on that southeastern peninsula. It's the shortest distance there is between Alexandria and Dondarol there. And there's Gurngan there, and that's where the ship is heading from and to. And it just seems it's a big squat thing designed to carry a lot of cargo. And for the most part, it seems to be they were loading on boxes and all sorts of things. There seems to be like a singular purpose for this thing in that it's cargo. I don't know if how much you would be interested in that, or what it is. But there's passengers, and there's also rooms. People travel via this thing a lot. It has an area where people sit on the mid deck.
Okay.
It has areas where people sleep. So you can go there. The predicted travel time is 3 days.
Okay. Well, Lyra actually has a feature called Ship's Passage, which I know is what you were referencing, but just for those listening, you can secure free passage on a sailing ship for you and your companions. You might sail on a ship that you served on, or another ship that you have good relationships with. So I'm actually going to say that Stark's Pike, right? Is that the captain?
Yep. I'll give you it fully.
Okay. I'm going to say that he has great relationships with Belmir, who's somebody that I served with on my ship for a long time. And so I basically reached out to Belmir, and then Belmir was like, I can get you onto the ship, sure.
Yeah.
And that's how. So
I think, yeah, that's probably the case. I think as soon as you showed up, maybe he was even expecting you. You're a Tabaxi. Yeah. Tabaxis are quite rare. Tabaxi, they're not as rare as a drow. But they're rare enough that you don't see too many Tabaxis kind of wandering up and down the street in Alexandria. There are a few. There would be Tabaxi quarters and stuff like that where you're used to seeing others. But I think I probably knew that too, because we're traveling and then we're also traveling. It's a weird party. We can't pretend to be a family. We can't really kind of lay low. So I probably reached out to Belmir and said that as such, like, I need to get here and I need to be on the ship. Can't you get me on the ship? And yeah. And I think yes. when you arrive, you guys maybe show up. You head down through Solva. Solva is an interesting city. It's really big. It's maybe about as big as the capital city, Bologna. It has a really strange history in Solva, in that the at the center of this city is a lake which is always growing and expanding outwards, and it expands. The more people that live in Solva, the bigger the lake gets, and it's a freshwater lake. So it was like an awesome place to live and find. A lot of people who are religious believe it to be like divine. A lot of people just believe it to be magic. So Solva is a really big city now. It's got everything you can imagine a sort of fantasy medieval level modern day city to have, and a huge port, because there is a lot of sea. Each continent is split, and so there's a huge port, and probably it takes you guys a little while once you get off of that train, head down and around this lake, and then down towards the port side. You've then got to find this ship, right? So it probably took you guys a little while before you found it. What do you think you guys are wearing? For the most part, Inquisition, if you're going in full uniform, you'd be in Inquisitorious robes, like big black robes, and probably all marching along together. But
I mean, I already stand out. I guess to fill chat in, I didn't want to do like dark makeup, so I just kind of gray outlined. I am a dro, so I already stand out. So I'm just wearing the robe and owning it proudly.
Yeah, I mean, you're a wizard. It's not too uncommon for, you know, a wizard to just be like, I'm a mage, and be wearing like mage robes. It's a sign. Like seeing a wizard walking down any street anywhere with books in hand and a robe doesn't necessarily mean you're Inquisition. You can probably have several sets of robes if you wanted to be in different robes.
Say that it's like this one. Instead of it being Inquisition colors, it's like this, where it's like black with green and stuff, and I have like my giant books, and I'm like waddling along behind everybody, and like maybe reading on top of it from the books, because I'm just, you know, I gotta be learning at all times. Can't waste time.
Yeah. What about Infidelia?
She's wearing tight black clothes. So just from her neck down to her legs. She's got long pants on, but she's got boots that come up to her knees that are just black and tied, laced all the way up. And she's not dressed probably how she should, but she tries to wear black clothing whenever she can.
And you're a half-orc. Like, how orcish do you look? Or maybe more, if the other half is humanoid, just human-ish.
I have a lot of orcish features. I have a pale green skin complexion, and it's kind of patchy. She has dark hair, and she's got those two little teeth that stick out on her under her lower lip. And she's got a half crescent moon on her forehead that has been tattooed on, and she doesn't seem to blink very much. Like, you think she might be blinking, but then you're not sure.
Yeah.
It seems like she stares a lot.
And then a reminder on Cairo.
So I'm probably the least eye-catching among this group, for sure. But I do have cerise, rosy-colored hair. And probably the most conspicuous thing about me is the owl, the barn owl that accompanies me. And I think right now he's probably actually sitting on my forearm, and I'm just kind of carrying him that way. And I do have a pretty impressive-looking bow. And normally it kind of sparkles gold, but for this mission, I'm trying to look just like a traveling hunter, not anybody that has special weapons. So I actually crafted a little leather sort of, not a scabbard, but whatever the equivalent is for a bow, so that you're not seeing this sparkling bow. But I have a loose fitting white shirt tucked into some brown leather pants, and some probably about calf height brown leather boots that are very well worn, and kind of keeping to myself, probably occasionally checking in with Keepy, my owl.
And an exact replica of Olivia Newton-John's leather jacket.
Yes, that
apparently.
too.
In case you didn't know what that was, chat, that's the real one from the movie that Tuesday bought in real life. And then leading the pack, probably Lyra, since you're taking point with no Worston, who is usually leading the group through any. If you'd ever do group stuff, or generally in terms of hierarchy, he's the leader. Second in command here is you. What do you think? What are you looking like? What are you doing?
I'm wearing probably just kind of like dark cloak. I've got a hood. I don't have it on, or maybe I did when we got to the ship, but once they knew who I was, I mean, I try really hard not to stand out. I'm pretty much covered except for my face, my hands, my arms, everything. If I can hide my tail, I try to hide my tail as much as possible as well. I have the pointy teeth, and I have one broken ear that is just like won't twitch or move like my other ear does when I'm frightened or having emotion. And I do have a long, what looks like a map case, and it's really, really long across my back. And that's what I have brought with me along with my traveling bag.
Your old captain. So I gave you an extra bit of info. I don't know if you saw it, but I wrote in your bio a tiny little extra element, just to, because I knew that you'd probably need to rely on it to get on this ship today. It's in the character backstory somewhere. You had an old captain, Captain Lentz. Does he know that you're Inquisition now or not?
No.
So these dwarves that you're garnering passage with wouldn't know either. You're just a bunch of people, friends, adventurers,
right.
Something like that.
Right. Yeah.
So I would imagine there's again, just to kind of.
So I'm so sorry. Where is this? I don't see it.
Oh,
at
sorry.
all.
It's in the bottom left
I see it.
hand
Okay.
box. It's just a very little,
Yeah.
tiny bit. So I think you guys take a little while. It's not. You guys are like all. You probably all should have proficiency in investigation ticked on your skills. If you don't, tick it. Because you just get that for being part of the Inquisition. You all it would take you no time at all to find a big dwarven, like squat-looking cargo ship. You can see that the side of the ship is able to come down and open up like those, like Greyhound buses do, to gain access to the lower deck from the port side itself. And as you guys approach it, you can see it's kind of lifting up and closing, as if they're finishing up with the cargo loads. And you can see a pretty small-looking dwarf, even by dwarven standards. He seems to be relatively short compared to the other dwarves that are moving up and down. And already you can see that he looks relatively sort of eccentric. He's wearing like a pretty large, one of those tricorn captain's hats. He's wearing like a set of red, sort of, I would say like sailors, whatever that sailor's finery is that you'd get on like captains in the Navy, as opposed to like pirates, you know what I mean? But it looks old and very sea-worn. None of them look particularly like a crew of authority-based shipsmen, but they also don't look like pirates. You can tell that they're just a cargo ship. There is one of the dwarves who is very strong-looking, very militant-looking, who's wearing like heavy armor and has just got a massive great axe on his back. But of the other dwarves, they look like sort of sailor-type dwarves. The smallest one is Captain Starkpike, and I think very quickly when you guys approach, he would have noticed you, Lyra. There would have been a back and forth where he's like, "Hey, that's right. Oh yeah, I see you here. I got you down." He's got his shipping manifest where he's checking everything off, and he sort of nods and points and a few things, and then you guys are allowed onto the ship. A short while later, I think probably the ship would leave with you guys on board, and you guys would have had a good idea of what this ship looks like. You guys would have gone onto the top deck and then gone below decks to the mid deck. 3 decks. Top deck. I'm not good at sailing terms as well, by the way, and I know you're all going to give me shit for it, but this is the terminology in Lacrin. That's my excuse. Top deck. Mid deck, lower decks. The lower deck seems to have a lot of cargo. Even the mid deck has a lot of cargo. And the top deck, they pretty much told you ideally, don't go up there. Just for your own
Don't go
safety.
up on the top deck?
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You're free to go pretty much wherever you want on the ship, is what they told you. But the top deck is where they're working, especially when they're leaving and going out to sea. It's just way more dangerous. There's wind.
Yeah.
There's the rocking of the ship. You can go overboard. And they're obviously, that's where the dwarves, for the most part, seem to be working. They're pulling at all the rigging and things like that. So they just tell everyone, because you aren't the only passengers here. When you're getting on board and coming, you go across the top deck and they take you down. And also they told you if you wanted to, you need to speak to anyone, you're free to go up to the top deck and grab one of the dwarves up there. You're free to speak to them. But generally, like hanging around on the top deck and fucking around, if you go overboard, that's your fault. And they're not going to stop the ship. Like you're done. So they suggested that you stay on the mid deck would be a better way to put it. You saw the other passengers here as well. So to give you a quick idea, and then I'll bring you over to the ship itself. There are 5 other passengers, I believe, that you saw on here. There is. You saw a woman, a half-elf woman. You see a Goliath, and when you're shown to a particular, there are 2 sides where there are quarters that you can stay in. You guys are shown into one set of beds, and on the opposite side of the mid deck, there's another set of beds, and it seems that people have kind of set up in there. In your side is a Goliath, who is just sat there. Think like Drax. You know how he's just standing there silently in the background the whole time, even if you nodded to him or said hello. He's sitting on the edge of a cot, just staring. He's got all these crazy-looking tattoos. He's wearing a big fur kind of cloak that does almost nothing to cover most of his body, and a loincloth. He's got an axe that's just sitting on the bed behind him, and what looks like a really big bag of stuff that God knows what's in it. And he's just sitting there very silently. Other than that, it seems that the rest of the cots in here are yours to use freely. Each cot has a storage box next to it that you're free to pick and choose and use. You see also there's a dwarf with an instrument. It looks like he's got a lute with him. You see a half-elf woman who seems to be in the other room. She maybe you walked past and she was unpacking some stuff. There's what is almost certainly a merchant, an old man, who sets up not in one of the cots but in an area in the central portion of this mid deck where there are booths that you can sit in and chairs. There's even a thing that seems that you can use to cook. And he kind of sets down his stuff over there. And then you see another human man who he greets you guys as you're coming through. And you get the sense that he works on the ship as well, as one of the crew members. Because he seems to be greeting people and pointing them to where they want to go. And he's the one that says to you, oh, yep, you guys can go over to this room and sit in here and set up. There are cots and boxes and things like that. And I believe that is it. So, fast forward just a little, just to get you to that point there. Because it's all just faff. I'm going to bring you over to the ship itself. Ship map is set up a little weirdly. It's dynamically lit. And I'm going to drag you over. So you should, in theory, be able to see some stuff. Now, it's dynamically lit in the sense that when you move around, it will uncover where you are. Do you see where you are? Everyone can see yourself?
Yes.
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 And you can see the Goliath sitting in the background staring at you. You guys are free to kind of move around with your tokens to a degree. Obviously, when you move around and role play, it's just more of an idea of to keep track of where you are on the ship and things like that. And also, you haven't seen everyone on the ship. You don't know what the ship holds and things like that. You guys have been sent to investigate something about this ship. Supposedly, one of these people, maybe more of them, are members of the Dragonfly crew. So finding them, interrogating them, figuring out what's going on with them, bringing them in maybe, is really your mission here. And I'm sure you guys would have discussed it a little bit. You're free to discuss it now. There's a Goliath that's just staring at all of you. He's just sitting there silently and staring at you all as you walk in. You guys can move around a little
And
bit.
the Goliath are just staring at each other. Who
Yeah.
will blink first?
Yeah, exactly. They're doing the staring contest, and you can they probably seem the same. So just to check with myself that I told you everyone and everything. Yeah. So I think probably a little while later you can hear a low rumble that seems to come from maybe some of the mechanisms that are in the ship, and then the ship sets underway. And constantly at all times there is the sound of these dwarves on the top deck just shouting at each other, and they just constantly sound like they're arguing, apart from the captain, who sounds happy and eccentric and wild. He's doing things like, I had a yippee, let's go lads, let's go. And then the other ones are like, hey, what are you pulling that for, you bastard, that's gonna break me engine. And then another one at the front of the ship is screaming just wildly, because he seems his only character trait that I've written down is crazy. And you definitely get that vibe as soon as you saw him. So, ship sets sail. What do you guys do?
Quick question: is Worston actually here?
Oh no, he's not. It's just that there was I was in a Schrodinger's version of
Gotcha. Just want to make sure.
the thing where Disney was maybe in the show and maybe not in this week.
Right.
So, but now she's not. So no, there's no Worston. Ignore him. Sorry.
Okay, no worries.
Just you four.
When I walk in, I don't even notice. I don't notice the Goliath at all. I just kind of like walk in and I sit at the one, like the nearest cot to him that's not parallel. And I put my books down. I'm like, that was interesting. And I take out another book and I take out this pen, and it looks like I sit down and I start staring at the Goliath, and just like, it looks like I'm jotting notes, and I'm just like looking at him, looking at that, going, yep. No, that's interesting. That's cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I just keep doing that while I wait for like everyone else to get set up.
How does the Goliath react to Errol? Like just walking right up into his space sort of and sitting down. Is he staring at someone in particular?
Let's grab a dice. Do I even own dice? Yes. It doesn't even look at Errol.
Yes.
Who's he looking at?
Infidelia.
Okay.
I look at Infidelia as well. Then I look back at him. And
Is Infidelia the biggest one here?
I think so,
Physically.
yes.
I'm 6'4",
Yes.
medium
so
build,
am I. I'm also
154
6'4".
pounds. Oh, I'm 154 pounds.
But she
I'm
would be
152 pounds.
She would
Oh,
be
so we're about the same size.
Yeah,
muscular. Are you pretty muscular,
Yeah.
Lara, or is it just a cat thing?
I'm pretty muscular, so I'm assuming it's just like a cat, right? They weigh a lot, but they're probably slim and, like it's all muscle.
Yeah.
I have muscle. Like I have you can see it rippling underneath.
she's
My
Zarya.
shank muscle.
You're Zarya.
Do it.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can I want to know if I know what this look is. Is this like this is the hottest thing I've ever seen look, or is this like a I'm going to murder you in your sleep kind of look?
Give me an insight check.
25.
25. Give me a history check.
10.
A 10. I don't think you know every single thing ever about this Goliath in particular, but you can tell that he is for sure he doesn't seem like city folk. He's got a very kind of tribal look about him. Goliath tribes, for the most part, in Lacrin are based on strength, and they're not necessarily like that's all they're obsessed about. But most Goliaths, when they walk into a room, will find the strongest person in the room. And maybe that's who it's not necessarily a thing where they're like, I'm gonna tackle you and fight you and I'm gonna measure up with you and square up to you situation, but just this is my focus here now, is that That's
Strongest in the room.
Yeah, and it might be a respect thing. It's not always a I'm gonna just take out the biggest guy in the room, prison rules. It's just that in some societies you focus on the oldest person at the table for a meal.
Right. Okay. So
And with this Goliath, it's more like that. I think.
And
it's
it's
probably,
sort of a respect thing. Like it's not a okay.
For sure, it seems a lot more like this. A lot more likely this is a respect thing. But because on a 10, that was to determine what tribe he's from. You don't know. On a 10, it doesn't seem like one of the ones from Alexandria though.
Okay. I don't really mind what tribe he's from. I just want to know if he was.
Well, some tribes it
interested
might be
in,
that he wants to cut off a head.
Oh, so it could be a tribal thing.
Yeah, but
I
you
see.
get more of the sense that it's more of a respect thing from this guy. I'll give you that on the 25, the natural 25.
Oh, okay. In that case, Delia is sitting on the cot. Are you away? Is your back to him? And you're looking at me?
I'm probably sitting. Let me see how this is laid out. I try to put my token where I'm just like sitting on the edge of the bed.
That's what I thought.
If you want to move your token and hold Alt, you can move
Okay.
outside of the squares. And I don't mind you guys doing that outside of combat like ever, pretty much.
Okay. So yeah, I'm just kind of sitting on the edge of the bed, mostly turned towards Lyra and Cairo. Like slightly angled towards you two.
So then I would like to make eye contact with you, even though you don't blink. And we probably don't really usually communicate via eye contact, but I've forgotten. It's habit for me to communicate with my eyes mostly.
Mm-hmm.
So I make eye contact with you, and then I glance at the guy behind you, the Goliath, and then I look back at you and look you up and down.
I not very conspicuously look over my shoulder at the guy. With like loud sound on the cot, like creaking of leather from my clothes. And like look at him, and then I look back at Lyra.
And I shrug because my attempt at being discreet has failed.
Is there something I need to worry about?
No, not at all. At least I don't think so.
When I look back at him, does he look back at me at all? Or is he already still just looking at me?
He's already looking at you, really. So you just turn around, he's already just kind of staring at you. His skin is kind of a grayish blue. It looks a lot like stone more than it being like a glowing, like, merfolk blue situation. He's got a lot of piercings and scarification and tattoos on him. But his eyes are pretty much all white. So there's no iris or pupil. So it might be a little unsettling depending on your disposition. Again, it would be a lot more common in this world than ours, but you don't get any. There's nothing coming off of him. You know what I mean? Like it is a very just a stony stare kind of thing. But he's kind of already looking at you, and he doesn't do anything else though. He doesn't grunt, doesn't say anything, doesn't even really move.
He's kind of cute, no?
Yeah, I'd say. Well, we kind of need to talk, I'd say. Kind of look over at him. He doesn't look like he's going to move. So I probably just, I stand up and I brush my hands on my legs and kind of stretch. I want to take a walk and look around. Want to come with?
Just me.
Well, no. Cairo and Errol. We're going to go take a look around. You want to just put your stuff in your box there and then...
I don't say anything. I just hop down and I like throw the book and it's still open and it looked like I was taking notes, but there's literally nothing written down. And I'm like, and I just like start walking out the door. And I would feel like I'm like the weeniest out of all of them. Like I'm not, there's not any muscle. I'm just like thin and small and not much of a fighter. I got my robes on and I'm like almost like a Jawa, but taller.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I was just going to say, how tall are you?
5'7".
Okay.
So I'm not
Okay, you're not too
shorty,
short.
but I'm
Okay.
still like.
You are to maybe some of us.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Compared
You're,
to you two or 6'4", I'm like, eh.
You're free to move around this map pretty much as you want. There isn't anything crazy like, you're not in a dungeon where things are going to trap at you or anything. Everything is here for you to look at and wander around and even investigate, kind of semi out of character to look around. If you want to move between decks, just let me know. We're on the same map. It's just split into 3. You can probably zoom out and see that. It's just purely for my ease of use for the stream, really. But you can, if you want to go up, just let me know, and I'll swing you over there. And if you want to go below deck, then just let me know, and I'll do that as well. So you guys step out of this this room. There are various portholes that let you see outside. You can see that you're heading away from the land, and you can see the open ocean ahead of you. And you move into this kind of central area. It does look like it's supposed to be somewhat accommodating for...
It's like a common room, right?
Passengers, yeah. It's very much a common room. There is a central hole, or it looks like probably once that they used it to bring cargo up and down, but now it seems to either be closed or it's a thing that they can open and close to allow that to happen. But for now, when you walk into this room, you can see that there are lots of different tables and stools. There are booths at the top and at the bottom right where that merchant has kind of set up. He seems to just be kind of an old man. He's lit a pipe, and you can maybe even smell like the scent of like a sweet tobacco in the room. There's the sort of bardic looking dwarf. For a dwarf, he looks a little different. He might be a half dwarf, half something else. He's a little shorter. He's got some strange kind of clothing and ornamental things that seem to be attached to the lower parts of his hair. And you can see that he's got a bag next to him and a lute. Seems to have a kind of happy disposition. There is the gentleman that works for the ship, the human, who seems to have settled down next to where the stove, the cooking thing is. And he just seems to be relaxed there.
Is he making something?
No, but he looks like this is his station almost. He sits down. He looks like he's wearing like sailor's garb as well. And he sits with his legs kind of like crossed on a stool. Across from you, which is on the map, is here, is the room. There, you know there to be a woman in there, who you saw like bring a bag in, and although you can't see her now, she presumably is still in there. To come down, you guys probably came from this room, past a few cargo rooms, and this guy who will have introduced himself, I'm sure, as Zan. Zan told you that you can, up here, right at the very top, you've kind of unlit it, is where you can go potty, if you'd like.
Okay.
Everything else appears to be like cargo holds. You can see there are casks and kegs and big boxes, smaller boxes, things, and they're all pretty much tied down around this place. But this seems to be the common room. Generally, this is where they sort of expect you to stay, but you're not locked to it necessarily.
I'm just gonna, because we walked by this way, I just want to look at the map and see what I would have seen as I walked down here.
Free to move around, like whatever, you're good.
Oh, okay. Well, then what I would like to do when I lead everybody out is go into this room here, this little cargo room. I would gesture in here, so that we could have our private conversation.
Sure. You all creep in.
Yeah.
And hide and jump on boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
I assume Errol, you follow as well. I'll just drag you in. Yeah, you find you guys kind of like saunter into a side room. You sit on some crates, and they've all been tied down. They seem to be secure, and you can easily jump and sit on a couple or lean against some as Lyra ushers you in.
So it's important that we find out which of the crew, if any, is working or part of the Dragonfly crew as well. How do we want to go about this? I mean, I can think of a few ways, but we're supposed to stay undercover, so we can't really grab people and start interrogating them. Plus, I think Belmer would be pretty pissed at me if I did that.
Suppose we could try idle conversation. You know, been to Caspian Wharf lately? That kind of thing? Maybe not as direct.
Yeah, I think that seems to be our best option. Is everybody okay with that?
I mean, if you wanted, you could grab someone and torch them. I mean, you know, if you wanted.
Right, but
You-
we don't want to do that because not only would that give away the fact that we're Inquisition, but Belmir might never speak to me again, and then I would burn a whole lot of contacts doing that.
Why does he have to know? Like, why can't we just, I mean, we're in a side room now, and we could just find another room, a little secret on the side, maybe?
I feel like that would be too obvious. There are too many people, and bring them in. Someone's gone. They find them, and they tell that you did it.
Just get rid of the body. I mean, I know a few ways that we can get rid of the body.
Errol, maybe it would be best if you, checked out some of the cargo, popped a couple of crates.
You
Maybe
want me to
that
pop crates?
Conversation to us.
Okay. No, I'm gonna go with you, but I mean, you should leave all options on the table, is what I'm saying.
I promise we will work on that acidic body decomposition thing that you want to try, and I know you've been begging to try it. We'll do it.
I
Just not
perfected it already.
Okay, but not now. Now is not the time to test that out.
But I mean, we're on a ship. We could just you know what? We'll get to this later. But if it comes to it, I know how to get rid of the body. I'm just
But
saying.
it won't come to it, right, Errol? I need you to promise. I know you're
I'm
really
not gonna
excited.
do anything. Have you seen these muscles? And I hold up my arm, and it's like you could just clearly see that I have a weenie arm. Like there's no muscle.
But I'm so familiar with Errol's kind of like childlike manipulation of like, I'm not going to do anything. But it's like, it's that situation of you walk in, there's a dead body, and you're like, what? And I didn't do it.
I
No,
didn't
it just
do that.
happened. But now that it's happened, I want to use my experiments and get rid of it. So I'm sort of used to that because we've worked together in the past. So I'm a little concerned.
Okay, I promise. I won't do anything unless I have to. Okay, is that good? Can I promise that?
You can absolutely promise that, but you're not going to have to, Errol. You're not going to have
Okay.
to.
That's up to you.
Okay.
Okay,
It
you're
is.
the leader.
That's still really weird, but all right.
Okay,
Just
leader.
Seniority.
Can I say it again just to like annoy you? Whatever you say. Oh, Captain, you got this.
All right, so we're gonna separate and go schmooze, I guess. Or do we want to check the cargo first?
Did you say booze? I don't think that's a good idea.
I said schmooze.
Oh, okay.
It's like well, you can use booze if you want. It's basically just going around and conversing with people.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I mean, why don't I just go have a seat by Zan over there and start having a little conversation?
Yeah, might be a good idea. The rest okay with that, or do you want to
Yeah, I'll
separate?
go have a conversation too if you want.
I think we should put
Sure.
feelers out, have some conversation with some of the crew. Try to stick to the crew if you can.
Crew.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out, right? And then if we need to, we can check the cargo.
Okay.
But if we can find out what we need to find out with just the crew, then
I don't even listen. I just start opening these boxes.
oh my god.
Yeah. With what though? Do you have anything to open? These are like proper
I'm just
big
trying to pull them. Like
crates.
you see me. I'm little, or I'm small, but I'm like little, and I'm like, oh. And she's like, open. We'll check the cargo, and I'm like trying to open it, still pry it open with my fingers.
Yeah, I think Cairo wanders out, and you start pulling at one of these boxes. Give me an athletics check with disadvantage.
I am totally athletic. I mean,
You get disadvantage because you don't have a crowbar. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
A 2 and a 20. That is a natural 1. It's awful.
did I break a nail?
I think
That's
you probably
rude.
break a nail, yeah.
I break a nail.
It does nothing. Like, it doesn't move. You would for sure need a crowbar or, I mean, you're a wizard, so you might have some bullshit that you can do, but just trying to pull at these things is not going to open one of them at all.
I look at my nail and I go, I just did these. I just got these done. These are expensive. Do you know what never mind. You don't need to know. Never mind. It's none of your business. But I just got this done. And can I use my mage hand?
You can. Mage hand is not that
I don't know
strong,
what it
though.
does.
It does. I know it has American terminology, so you can tell me when I read it. You can lift something that is 10 pounds with it. How much is 10 pounds? Like a bag of sugar?
Like a
10
cat.
pounds is a lid to
or
a
less.
cargo crate.
It's exactly the lid of this cargo crate specifically. A cat.
Or less than a cat.
Yeah,
Sometimes cats weigh more than that.
Yeah, my cat's 16 pounds almost.
Yeah. So it's not a lot.
I think like even with both of your hands on it, and then a third hand comes out, it's you maybe
I
hear it.
grab Delia's hand instead. I'm like, no, help.
You hear it creak, but it doesn't. It,
You have your mage hand pick up Delia's hand and
Yeah.
Why do you-
It lands on Delia's hand and it like tries to guide her over to it.
I just stand there and my arm is just being held up and my hands being like pulled over to the crate. Why you cannot do this yourself?
Well, let's
Did
maybe
you
not.
see me?
Errol, I don't know if we should go right into the cargo right away. I think we should just try to talk to the crew first. If somebody sees us, it gives us away a little. Should try to do this as discreetly as possible.
If you say so. And
And
I
I
have
do.
my mage hand drop.
yeah.
All right.
Um,
Cairo?
Cairo's left. So to swipe Cairo, like you turn around and she's already kind of like sauntering down the center of the ship here towards this guy, Zan, who for the most part is kind of like a typical like Disney prince looking guy. To be honest, he's a to objectify him. He is he's got like a decent frame. He's maybe about 6 feet tall. Kind of strong looking. Not full Gaston. What's the dude from Little Mermaid? What's his name? Probably more like him.
Prince Eric.
Eric.
How dare you?
Prince
Yeah,
Eric.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, so it's my brain, not my love. My brain, not my love, that has failed me there. But he's probably got longer hair. It looks a little uncouth, and he's got like a 5 o'clock shadow. And his clothes are pretty standard looking tunic and trousers with some old looking boots. Yeah, other than that, just kind of a pretty average looking human, but pretty nice looking. Again, like sometimes you can determine wealth almost from how good people look. Like if they have nice teeth and stuff, they're probably a noble. He's not quite at that level, but he still looks pretty good, and for sure maybe he probably works out. You know, he's decent shape, that kind of thing. And as you're
Or he just
walking
works
over,
on a ship.
yeah, maybe. Like just from lifting boxes, that kind of thing. And he throws you a... What happened?
I'm so sorry. Somebody in the chat said I'd take him down to the
I'd
poop
take him
deck.
down to the poop deck. That sounds weird. Cairo, you walk over. And if you look like you're kind of heading towards him, he probably flashes you a smile and says, hi.
How's it going, Zan?
Hey,
Hey,
can I help?
yeah, are you the person to seek out if I'm looking for some food or a drink?
He looks behind him. There's a stove that with like pots and pans on it, but like no food or anything around. He says, I can use it if you want.
Well, I am pretty hungry.
Yeah, sure. What do you got? I'll cook it.
Oh, are there not any meals?
No, I'm afraid not. Did you bring anything? You can use the stove. I can help you out.
No, just rations.
All
Say,
right.
have you been at this long? You know, working on this ship?
Sailing all my life, but working on this ship, maybe a year.
That's quite a while. I'm just traveling, trying to see the world. When I got my best friend here, and I point to Keepy on my shoulder, well, I sort of promised him, I'll show you the world, I said to Keepy, so that's what I'm doing.
Huh. Give me a deception check.
Oh dear.
You can do it. I believe in you.
I got this.
20.
Oh.
He's like
You
nodding.
can show him the world.
He's like nodding along.
That's
when you
right.
when you like point at the owl, he kind of cocks his head. What is that? A kestrel?
No. And I kind of squint my eyes at him a little bit because that could be perceived as a bit of a slight to Keepy, and that's not okay with me. So I'm trying to keep I'm narrow eyeing him now. Not at all. That's my barn owl.
Well, that's an owl.
That's Keepy. Keepy is an owl.
Right. Well, I spend all my life at sea. I can tell you what a seagull looks like.
All your life then. So you were on other ships before this one?
Yeah, a few different ships. My pa was a famed sailor.
Was he?
Yeah.
Is he still alive?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's cool. He was pretty old. I
Might
didn't
I
know
know
him
of
too
him?
well. I don't know. Depends. You pretty knowledgeable on history?
I guess maybe not terribly, but if he's famous.
You remember when the pirates tried to take Solva a few
Yeah,
years ago? Probably.
course.
Yeah, would have been. He kind of looks you up and down. You young?
Well, yeah, I'm pretty young, 22. How about you?
He nods, and I don't think that's an uncommon question because you're a half elf, so they don't always.
Sure.
People can't always tell your
They
age.
have a hard time telling. Yeah.
He says, 33. When I was a teenager, my dad was involved in the pirating.
Oh, wow. Well, that certainly sounds thrilling. Say, well, where were you before this? What far-flung places have you seen?
Well, I've been all over. I think the furthest I've been is Dragon's Reach. If you've been there.
Dragon's Reach. Wow. I think I'm sort of pretending I haven't seen as many places as I certainly have seen. Hopefully under that same deception check of like, I'm trying to see the world. So, wow, Dragon's Reach. I mean, I've been to Caspian Wharf. Ever been there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, of course.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's a wharf.
Yeah.
Sure. Right. Well, I guess if there's nothing to eat here, I'll just, I'll see what I can do about getting some food and drinks.
I like mosey on by her at this point. I'm just like waddling, like you know, okay. And I like bump into her and everything, and I don't even acknowledge her. I just keep walking.
I probably, as like Keepy, fluffs his feathers up.
There's there's that dwarf that was kind of he might be a half dwarf. He looks mostly dwarvish, who's sitting behind you this entire time. I think Errolpay, as you approach, you can see that he is so invested in this conversation. But he has just a massive smile on his face, like he's watching it like Netflix. He's watching whatever the hell is happening. He's like watching this whole thing, and then you wander up and bump into her, and like he's kind of like he leans his head around as if he's trying to get a better view.
I look up and I notice I'm in his field of vision, and I just stare at him for a second, and then I turn around and I look at her, and I stare at him, and then I like walk a couple steps closer and I stand in the way. And I just like smile.
The dwarf says, "Hey, come here, come here."
Oh, okay.
As you walk over, he says, "Watch this train wreck. She's trying to hit on him, but he has no idea. Shush, watch, I sit here."
Are you? Oh, is that what's happening? Really?
Yeah. He's
and I turn around and I watch.
He's an oaf. He has no idea what's going on. Kyra, give me an insight check.
Okay. I love that might be what's going on. Okay. 19.
I feel like this guy seems to be telling the truth to you, but something seems a little off. Like he when you first got onto the ship, he was like super friendly. Now he doesn't seem like he wants to help you as much. The fact that like he's willing to cook you food seems okay, but he doesn't really come across as too interested in anything that you're doing. Almost like he kind of wants you to leave, and he's also just a little confused as to why you're speaking to him. But something seems a little off with him, maybe. What it is, you don't know exactly. It might be just that he doesn't know how to hit on you. It might be something weird. Something strikes you as weird about him to a degree. I think
he's become a little standoffish, and I'm sensing that.
You get something. There's a vibe coming from him that just seems out of place, maybe. Without making you too suspicious, because you're here to, just investigate everyone necessarily. But he,
sure,
and again, it's not like that uncommon that you'd be on a ship with a stranger and you just wander over like, hey, and they're like, hi.
right.
I think probably you get a I sense that something's off on that
Yeah,
19.
so he's seeming a little guarded now.
Maybe.
Right. So, last thing I said to him was, well, yeah, I guess I'll, go see what I can do about scaring up some food. So, when Errol bumps into me, I'll probably use that as a bit of an opportunity to sort of pivot here. And I'm probably just to appear busy, pulling out a little meat chunk for Keepy and sort of caressing him a little bit and feeding him some meat, and just gonna see what Errol's got cooking over here.
Yeah, the dwarf kind of like, as this ends, he watches the thing unfold, and then he shakes his head towards the human guy with the big smile. He's like, ah, and then he turns to you, Errol, and says, "All right, you want to hear a story?"
What? Oh, I love stories. Yeah.
Right.
No.
He holds
You
a
want me
hand.
to tell a story?
He
I'll
holds
tell
a hand out, palm up.
I look at him like, is that the story?
What?
Is
No, that's my job.
Your hand is your job?
No, telling
I don't
stories is
even
my
know
job.
that. Oh, you want money?
Aye,
What do you think? Look at me. Do you think I'm rich?
aye.
I look. I look. I'm like, no. I don't pay for stories. Anyone can make up bullshit. I don't pay for that. You don't pay for that. Does anybody pay for that? Nobody pays for that.
Aye, a lot of people. For me, my name's Goodtail.
I want to summon my mage hand again.
Yeah.
I wanted to go up and like give him a 5.
Aye, that's a good one. That's a good one. Well,
There
if
you
you want
go.
a story, that's a gold piece.
Okay, a gold piece for a story. Well, it better be a really good story about like maybe something one of these people, like that guy. He seems kind of like a weirdo. I mean, he didn't hit on my, that she's really pretty.
Hey, I'm gonna cook up a good story about him. I call it the Big Whiff.
Okay. Well, can you give me like a teaser?
It's called Hot Chick approaches Hot Man. Hot Man is a giant oaf, and he shouts that kind of towards the guy, and the guy is like just kind of shooting him a weird look.
And
He's
I
a
look at him
giant
like, he's talking about you.
Yeah. What? You're an idiot. You're an oaf. Yeah?
Yeah.
You've got
Yeah.
3 days on this ship. Yeah? Right. See, he's an oaf. Nothing
He
up
kind of
there.
seems a little, not up there, a little
All
bit
face.
less up there.
All face, never had to use his brain.
Yeah. I could, I could see that actually. 'Cause, yeah.
Uh,
You seem to be pretty perceptive. You seem to pay a lot of attention to people on here. You said he's been here 3 days?
That's my job. No, we got 3 days. That's how long we're all stuck on this here ship together. That's why you should probably pay me a little bit of money. Pass the time. Good tale. How do you think I got that
Well,
name?
If I pay you 1 gold, you better give me more than 1 tail. Like, you better give me, like, a whole book of short stories or something,
Oh, book.
A whole book. It's 3 days.
This is my book.
I mean, if you want to give me your brain, I'm okay with that, too. What,
Aye.
you pointed to your head. I was just,
Right. Okay. Give me an intimidation check.
I'm not trying to intimidate him. I got 3.
You can't help it because you are a drow. He kind of looks you up and down and says, that's a good one, that. Hey, do your people eat dwarves?
No, the people I'm with, we don't eat dwarves. No.
Oh, right, yeah, those people, right.
Yeah. No, I came here with some people and we don't eat. Why would we? That's weird.
Well, you don't know. No reason. No reason. Just, I haven't got too many stories on, well, what are your people? What are you? Because you ain't family. You're working together.
Yeah, I mean, don't you have coworkers?
No,
Or are you all family? Are you family with everyone you work with?
no family. No co-workers.
No family? They all died?
Aye,
Oh, how? Did they drown?
it's a
On
good
the ship.
story.
My mage hand gives him a 5 again. listen, okay, maybe I'll come back for a story, but it better be a good story and it better be about people on here. You go get your stories of people on here. You know what? There's this weirdo that's sitting in our little area where we're staying. He might make a good story. He's really weird.
I'm not going near him.
You should go near him.
He's carrying a big axe. How scary. About 4 times my size.
So?
No. What if he tries to eat me?
Why would he try to eat you? We'll all know and he'll get thrown overboard.
Well, I don't know. They didn't say that they'd stop any fights now, did they?
Oh, they're not gonna stop fights, huh?
I don't know. That's the first time I've been on this ship.
Oh. I mean, where were you from before?
I am from... Bossendale of the Far Vales. I remember now. You ever been there?
No.
No? Oh, you should go. It's wonderful. It's a big old village inside of a big gorge in the mountain, and it runs, it's miles long. Miles long.
That sounds like a lot of walking. But it's in a mountain, so there's no sunlight.
Hey, you'd like that, right?
Oh, it'd be great. Yeah, I don't like sunlight.
Hey, you can come there with me when we get on the other side. 3 days.
3 days.
Hey, a good
Oh,
story.
I might do that. We could go visit, and I could walk inside this mountain. I've never been inside a mountain before. Maybe, I don't know.
Hey,
It's been a long time.
brow in the dwarf.
Okay.
I see it
Listen,
now.
what's your name
That's a
again?
good
What's your
story.
name,
Good tale.
sir? Good tail. Oh, good tail.
Is that how
'cause-
good? That's how I got the name.
Oh, okay. I'm Errol.
Errol.
Yeah, doesn't really mean anything. It's just a name. No. I could like be like magic fingers or something, but
Tell you who
Maybe
else
a
could have been Magic
story.
Fingers. You could have been Magic Fingers, and you blew it, you off.
and I turn around like, yeah.
Zan's
I'm like,
like,
going with it.
what? Yeah, sure. Okay. He kind of just looks around confused. Back in the room above. We'll rewind in time while these guys are wandering out. What did Infidelia and Lyra do?
That's a good question.
Like Cairo
So-
wandered out.
Yeah.
Errol Pay was like messing with your hand, and then she kind of gets distracted and looks around the doorway, and then a few moments later probably wanders out as well.
I might be able to head up to where the crew is and help out, because I do have experience. I might be able to see if I can find out that way.
Yeah, you want to head up?
Oh, sorry, that was in character.
Oh, sorry.
I don't know what you want to do though, Delia.
I feel like maybe I should go talk to our new friend.
Oh yeah, I thought you might say that. Have fun. All right, I'll get back with you later.
Good luck.
Thanks. And then yeah, I'll head up to
You head up.
offer to help out with the crew.
Sure. I'm gonna just throw your token over on the stairwell over here so that I can. You are wandering up the stairs, and then Infidelia, you're heading into where this Goliath is.
Yes.
Do you close the door and lock it behind you? And do we need to like? Okay, I don't know if we needed to.
No, I just.
And we're going to break.
Yeah.
I
just,
don't
like,
role play through sex scenes. Okay, all right. I'm not.
I
I'm not.
didn't say that.
Not a 13-year-old boy. All right, I'm not gonna do it. Okay, you can roll a performance check and we'll move on.
Oh my god.
As she goes in there, though, I do want to like nudge Goodtail and like point to her and the Goliath and be like, "You should. This could end how that guy didn't end."
I think at this point you're still like you're bumping into Cairo at this point. I think.
So
as
it's
you
during
head-
that part.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like just to try and keep up with where everyone is. So yeah, Infidelia, you walk into this room. You slide the door closed behind you and lock it. Drop off all of your clothing. He does the same. Sorry, did you not want me to roleplay through the entire thing? I'm kidding. No, we're actually going to go to a break, and when we come back, we'll find out what you do in the room with the Goliath, because that's a really great place to leave us on a little cliffhanger.
I'm blushing, but you can't tell because I have green face paint on.
Yeah. So We're gonna go to a short break here, a couple of minutes. Just go do a pee pee. Go take a cold shower. If your name's Katie Peters Plays, okay, calm down. And we'll get into it. We'll get into the meat and potatoes of this here. It was a lot of setup, and the rest of it is you lot trying to work this out. What's going on? What do you find out? And will you find out in time? Because the world is going to blow up. Kidding. Well, it kind of is. Main story. We're going to a short break, and we'll see you in a few minutes. Thanks very much for watching. The main story, the world, you're in a race, or the world's going to end, right? Yeah, don't worry about it. All right, see you in a few minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to what can only be described
Team.
as an erotic adventure on the sea. I'm kidding. I'm not gonna.
He's sort of kidding.
I'm not. I mean, maybe. I don't know.
I'm making it weird now.
Well, let
No.
me just say one thing. On the
Okay.
break, somebody, not naming any names, Tuesday said we need to start whoring, and that's how they're going to
That
get the
can't be
information.
proven?
So I didn't name any
This
names.
is-
Tuesday Gray,
This is speculation and allegations, and I
It's
just
pretty serious.
and that's how they're going to
allegations.
get. That's how they're going to get the information. Maybe.
I just want to point
um,
out that
yeah.
I said we can murder a bunch of people, and everyone said no. So this is where we're going.
yeah, that is pretty much true.
Let's jump back into the top deck because we're actually going to go with Lyra and keep everyone waiting. Lyra over here. Now, probably some of you have got a blank screen there. Oh no, you should all be able to see each other's tokens.
Yeah,
Can you?
we
Yeah?
can see
Okay,
top
just-
deck.
I did that because I figured that would be the case. Lyra, you are
Yes.
on the top deck of the ship here. So to give everyone an
Yeah.
idea of like what this map looks like, you should be able to see this very strangely shaped, dwarven-made, very squat and odd ship. Up here, you can see the dwarves
Oh,
kind of
cool.
wandering around. You came up from it's weird to see because the sails kind of cover some of it, but it looked better, so I went with it anyway. Probably came up somewhere over here.
Okay.
As you head up, you can see there is a dwarf known as Black Drink. I don't know if you know their names, but I'm just so that you can see where I'm going with this.
Oh, okay.
There is he's a kind of he's the crazy one. He's the one that gives you a
Okay,
crazy
that's-
vibe.
so I've probably heard about him then.
He's-
I imagine my
he's
friend
got,
was like, just
yeah, just avoid that one. Yeah, he's got like a bandana on. He's got that classic like Shmee from Hook kind of striped shirt looking thing.
love Snee.
And like the ripped kind of shorts looking thing and those little twinkle toed shoes that they have. But he's a big kind of burly dwarf. As you come up, immediately, like as soon as your head appears up the out of the stairway, you see the dwarf that on the map is Ice Mite is his name. He is the militant, strong-looking one. He's got the big, heavy armor on.
Okay.
You probably get the sense that he's more mercenary. Maybe he was hired to protect the ship situation.
okay.
Like, you know, you don't know what's going to jump on the ship. Pirates, that sirens, that kind of thing. He's going to be the thing that cuts its head off, throws him overboard. He seems
Okay.
to be the bouncer.
Does he have sea legs? Like, can I roll to see how?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Okay. Because they do that on the water. Those people who've been on the ocean for a long time are really well at pegging people who cannot or
Right,
haven't
yeah,
been.
give me a flat insight for all of them then. Yeah, 19.
Okay.
Yeah, so you get the idea that the Black Drink, the one at the top, is the barrel man, maybe the wiper.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of the guy who sits in the crow's nest. He seems to be doing that kind of thing. He's like scouting about. You can see on his hip that he has a spyglass as well.
Okay.
But he also has like rags on him, as if he's maybe going to be the one that's cleaning down the deck. Stuff like that, cleans things up. You can see that Ice Mite does seem to have sea legs about him for sure.
Okay.
To be wearing like heavy armor seems a little unproductive, but I think maybe even on a 19, you get the sense that this is just how he's comfortable. You know, he's one of those dwarves that's just in big dwarven heavy armor.
What's he doing right now? He's just
He spots you
standing,
straight
or-
away. Like as soon as you
Yeah,
come up,
of
he
course.
like it's like he's trained. He just his eyes turn over to you. He's got like he looks exactly like Obi-Wan Kenobi.
okay.
Ewan McGregor's one. He's got that kind of like nicely trimmed beard. He's
Okay.
got actually nicely parted hair. And it's blowing a little in the wind kind of thing, but he looks like he kind of keeps himself in relatively decent.
And his beard is short?
It's quite short, yeah.
Okay.
And he spies you straight away. He doesn't really do anything, but he sees
Yeah.
you and acknowledges that you're coming up. Just to give you an idea, you see two other dwarves. There's an older looking dwarf that you know, because I think Starkpike would have introduced him as the first mate. Hard past. He's like a
Okay.
very old looking dwarf, kind of gruff looking, in sailor's outfit again. And then there's another one on the other side, who on the map is known as Mad Rock, who looks like he's probably the one who's in charge of maintenance. He looks like maybe the engineer on the ship here.
Okay.
And then the captain is up at his wheel, singing probably. He's probably singing an old tune. He just seems happy and crazy and eccentric. Tapping his foot kind of thing. As far as what you see around you, it's pretty much open ocean now. You can see Alexandria in the distance, but this ship is moving pretty quickly for what looks like a quite slow. It's almost like a tugboat, but like a big one, that kind of thing, just squat and flat, low in the water. What do you do when you come up here?
It's moving quite quickly, just because I have had years and years of experience on the ocean or on the sea. Is it moving quite quickly, as in I find that strange? Like there might be magic involved in making the ship move as quickly as it does? Or is it just
no, I think you probably
engineering?
just engineering.
Okay.
There is for sure something on the back of this ship that helps to propel it as much as the sails do. Some ships in modern day ships for us will switch between the two. This is just doing both, and it's moving pretty quickly for its size. And it doesn't seem untoward. Just that it's quite a fast ship for a cargo ship.
Okay. I nod at Ice Might there and continue walking, and I head straight for Hard Pass.
Okay. Yeah. You head down. He is probably at this point kind of doesn't even register you coming up on him, because he's kind of looking over the stern of the ship in a sort of inspection way more than anything else. What do you do when you approach? He's like leaning probably against the side of the ship here more than
I see. Oh, is he? So he doesn't really notice me?
No, he's like looking over the ship, looking out, that kind of thing.
Then I'm gonna... I'm pretty sure technically you're not supposed to go up on the top to talk to the captain unless you are sort of have permission to do so. Sure. And I think I would know that as having been a sailor for a long time. So I don't want to be disrespectful, but so I will come over to the other side and I will, excuse me, Hard Pass.
He does not notice you or hear you. He's just leaning, like he's looking over the edge, and he looks like he's looking for something. He keeps doing this.
What's he wearing?
Sort of typical looking sailor's outfit as well, but he's wearing like kind of thick looking trousers and boots, but then just a really thin looking tunic on top. Little odd looking combination in terms of fashion, but they're just two sets of
I want to
common.
Try to spot any tattoos on him, because the last gent that had the dragonfly had it right on his neck.
Yeah, give me a perception check. His arms, some of his chest, his neck, face, hands are very visible.
Sorry, 1 second. I have a special thingy here. I'm just reading it. Check to spot a hidden creature or object. Oh, that's a bonus action. Okay, never mind. Okay, sorry. What did you say? Investigation? What did you want?
Perception.
Okay. 17.
Yeah, like you get a good look at this guy. You're like wandering around him. I think even on a 17, you notice that two of the other members of the crew are looking at you as well. Ice Might is kind of looking at you, and the captain is looking at you as well. The captain has a big wide smile on his face, as if he finds it kind of amusing. Ice Might looks the same as when he saw you before, kind of stern looking.
Okay.
But Hard Pass doesn't seem to have any tattoos
visible. Okay.
None at all.
Okay. So if the captain is looking at me and smiling, I'd kind of gesture, because he's a bit far away, if I can come up, since this guy won't listen to me. Or can I come up?
He laughs out loud. Hey, come on up.
All right.
He's hard of hearing. You got to slap him upside the head.
I kind of walk up then. What does this captain look like?
Yeah, he's wearing that big old tricorn thing. It has an orange feather, which is in the top of it, and it glows. And every time it kind of reaches a particular brightness almost of the glow, it changes color to green, and then changes color again when it gets kind of a bright green in a. It's not an insane level of brightness, like it's not an eye torch, but it glows a little bit and then changes color back to orange again. Orange and green, very slowly fading between the colors. Other than that, he's wearing quite like fine looking clothing, like much. The others kind of look like, just basic seamen. But he looks like he maybe was, it looks more like the officers' uniforms that you'd get in like the colonial times, that kind of looking thing. But nothing militant, just finery that he's probably maybe made for himself.
All right. I just wanted to thank you for making space for us.
Aye, no problem. Anything for wait, you served or you didn't serve on the ship?
I did serve on the ship, yeah.
Aye.
I served with Belmir, and then both of us served together, and I think that's how you know the captain. Is that correct?
Aye, that's right. Yeah, good drinking man, that man.
Yeah, yes. He could definitely. I could go head to head with him though.
Aye.
So I know
you
he
go
probably
head to
told you
head.
differently.
Well, hard pass down there. Why do you think he's lost his noggin?
Yeah, I noticed that.
I know he's a good first mate, but his eyes are a little bit gone, and his hearing's long gone. So you really got to kind of, jump about, hit him, that kind of thing. Or you could go over to the, get him a little wee glass of wine. I smell that, you will, from a mile away.
Well, good to know, I guess. That's a nice enchanted feather you got there.
Oh, hey, yeah, that's an old keepsake that I've had for a long time. That, hey, I got it from a mermaid. Give me an insight check.
Yeah. Look at him like, that's some bullshit if I've ever heard it. 13.
Kind of hard to tell with him. He seems like he would just say this kind of thing and maybe believe it himself.
Yeah, well, I definitely make a face like I don't believe what he, like I scrunch up my nose and, I kind of tilt my head and wait for him to continue. I want him to see I don't believe him, yeah.
I did get it from a mermaid. Hey, it helped me guide on my first voyage. I've had it ever since.
Okay, and what does it do?
No, they're supposed to be like a little light.
Why did the mermaid give it to you? Instead
friends.
of, draw you out into sea and...
They're not all that bad.
All right, I guess. Well, anyway, I wanted to offer my services.
Oh, aye.
See if I can help out.
Let's see. He kind of looks over each member of the crew and says, what were your previous duties?
I scout. I've got good eyes. I
Anything
can man
else?
the sails. Yeah, I can man the sails. There's
Sails,
lots I can do.
yeah. Sails.
Yeah.
Maybe unhelp with the sails. That'll be a bit better. That would. You don't want to be messing with black drink. You don't even want to go up on that there crow's nest. Who knows what it's like up there? I don't go up there. No one goes up there. You don't want to be touching nothing up there.
Why? I heard that he was a little... Why do you have him?
He's batshit.
Yeah, well, why do you have him in the crew then? If you don't mind me asking.
Right, well, if you look down there at hard past, you see how he's squinting out like that?
Look over. Is he like looking at us?
No, he's still doing the exact same thing. He's like squinting out.
Okay.
You see how he's squinting out like that?
Uh-huh.
He can't see shite. He's just pretending to see. He probably doesn't even know that we're at sea yet.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
The opposite. Black drink. That bastard's got eyes better than the best elf in the woods. He can see something coming from 3 miles away. 2 miles away.
All right, I suppose that's handy.
It's his eyes, not his brain. Definitely not his tongue that we need.
Well, what kind of crazy is he? Is he gonna, is he gonna go feral on me and attack me when I get up there? Or...
You got a coin in your pocket. Flip it.
What is he? Is that a joke about felines? And
No,
we like shiny
you flip
things?
the coin, that'll decide whether he's going to go crazy, whether he's going to flip himself off the edge of the boat, whether he's going to try and jump on your back, whether he's going to bring you dinner, whether he's going to try and shit on the poop deck.
All right. Okay, I guess I'll man the sails if that's what you need the most.
All right, appreciate it, but I was not going to pay for you.
No. I'm just one sailor to another, showing my appreciation.
I
Making
will.
room for my crew.
You drink ale?
Yeah, I love ale.
Hey, we got 11 crates of Solva ale on us as cargo, right?
Okay.
Hey, because one of them went missing on a trip. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, did it?
Aye.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So maybe you could earn yourself a wee mug.
Oh, one mug.
Aye.
Come on.
You're looking at 5 dwarfs that work on my ship.
And you're looking at a tabaxi that's been on the sea for at least 8 years. I can drink as much as you can, and I deserve that much if I work as hard.
All right, we'll see about it. We got some veal
right.
too.
The trashier, the better.
You can cook, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I can, but I'm lying if I I'm just gonna say yes.
He
Yeah, of
he grabs the wheel of the ship and concentrates for a moment and then says, "So your lot, what are you doing? Going to Durndarall? Not a dwarf in sight."
Yeah, we're taking, you know, the short one? Oh, the drow.
Hey,
Yeah, we're escorting, sort of.
escort.
Just doing, yeah, research.
What are you lot then?
Just escorts. I'm good on the sea.
You like them adventurer types? Up down into a dungeon and find a chest of gold or whatever they do,
Yeah, something like that.
right?
I just really want to help her find what she's looking for.
What's she looking for?
I don't know, some science stuff. It goes right over my head.
Is it true they eat hearts?
Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, it is.
I thought so. That's why I stick
Yeah.
to the sea. Don't often
Yeah.
see drow at sea. Stuck underground, you know? No
Yeah.
underground at sea.
Yeah. I miss it sometimes, to be honest with you.
Oh, being underground?
No, being at sea.
Right, aye. Yeah. Well, you can make yourself useful then. We'll get you some
Yeah.
food. Got you a mug.
All right. One
Just,
mug.
yeah, maybe avoid black drink.
All right, I'll do that. And when does anybody break? Can we all sit and have a round together?
Maybe Gungan. Maybe. But,
Alright.
you know, we take breaks when we need to take breaks, that's all.
All right. Well, I just know on my old ship we would occasionally, at night when it was easy, we would take a break.
Yeah,
I'd
aye,
like
well,
to play a game.
well,
All
there's
right.
got to be at least 2 of us up here at a time, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, maybe now you can have one person take a break because I'm here. Thank you, Captain.
Alright, welcome aboard.
Okay. I am immediately going to the sail closest to Black Drink.
So you start wandering up the ship, and
Yeah.
I think we probably sideswipe over to Infidelia there, who wanders in to the room again. And again, this is kind of all happening around the same sort of time. I think as you wander into this room, probably around the time like Aeroplay's still having a conversation with the dwarven bard. She's as you like wander in, you see she gives him like a fucking high five or something. I don't know. And Cairo is kind of like backing off slowly from Prince Eric over there. Yeah, then you wander in. What do you do when you approach this Goliath?
Is he awake, or is he just sitting there still?
Exactly
what is
the
he doing?
same thing, but he's staring at you as you walk in. He wasn't looking for you to walk in, but as soon as you walk in, he kind of looks at you as if, as if he was sort of expecting.
I would saunter over to him and kind of stand like far enough away from the bed that it's not. It's a little too close still. Like it's a little bit like I've kind of invaded his personal space a little bit. And I'll just directly address him. What is your name?
Do you speak Goliath? Remember how much depth I went into with languages and stuff on your character sheets. I don't know if you
I'll check.
have them.
Nope.
No?
I speak Orc and Common Tongue.
Okay. He says,
No tu, Bambanje.
Yes. Your eyes are very haunting. Do you speak Orc?
Inora Degos.
I kind of roll my eyes a little bit, and I pull up my sleeve, and I have a bunch of tattoos. I have like bats, and there's skulls, and there's spiders and webs, a pentagram, all this on my arm, and I'm just kind of like taking my hand and showing off, like miming to him, like, I have tattoos. Do you have any tattoos? Like maybe we could talk about our tattoos.
you see how he works it out. He, for the first time, shows an emotion. His eyebrow raises on one side. He looks up and down your arm, and then puts his arm out as if he's going to arm wrestle you.
Atu, big hand.
Did he say big hand? Did I make that out?
Yeah.
Does that mean anything to me?
Give me, I guess just give me an intelligence check. Just hit intelligence. A 14. Give me an insight check as well.
12.
12. I think he's just trying to speak common. I don't think he can speak common. I think he thinks big hand means arm wrestle.
So do I get the impression that we're going to arm wrestle each other to see who's the strongest?
I think you get the impression that he thinks that that's what you want.
No. I point to the tattoos again, and then point to his arm.
Idu maze ish. Ishos.
And I kind of like, I realize that he's thinking I want to do a strain thing, so I put my arm up for an arm wrestle. And
He looks confused, but he puts his arm out and arm wrestles you. Give me an athletics check.
This is the best.
I'll set
part
you a
of the
DC
episode.
here. Oh my god. I shit you not, I rolled a natural 20 as well.
Fully matched.
There is like, there is just one of those moments where it's like there is Cairo, you're like walking back up here. Maybe you glance in the room and there is like thunder and lightning, like as these two giant muscular arms are arm wrestling, and you're pretty evenly matched. Like, it's pretty crazy. I think physically he's much bigger than you. He looks much larger. Goliath, he's probably about 7 feet tall when he stands up. Maybe he's very, very wide. He looks like something from the heavyweight UFC or something, and he's just like, but he, like, the longer that this goes on, like a bead of sweat appears on his forehead and runs down, and his eyes widen and widen and widen until eventually he just lets go and says,
Mat bifoneas edamaeba.
and he smiles.
I smile back. Oh yeah.
Can I walk in?
You're still speaking to the other dude, I think, at this point.
Let me know when I can walk in.
Yeah.
Let me know when I'm cool.
Cairo, I think you're probably able to. I think this is during your Thingy's probably like looking at hard past on the top deck. You're discussing how much a gold coin is worth or something with the other guy. I think Cairo, probably since your conversation's ended, you can wander in, or you can do something else and tell me what it is in a minute. It's up to you.
Sure. I will have wandered past and seen that going on, but I won't go into the room because I have other plans.
Yeah. So, Infidelity, he kind of smiles at you a bit, and then settles back on the cot.
I smile back at him. My name is Infidelia. And I'm just Infidelia, and I start touching my chest to kind of show like this is my name.
Infidelia. Name.
Points at
I
himself.
do not believe that your name is Infidelia as well.
Bentosh.
Oh, your name's Bentosh.
Bentoshus.
No, Infidelia Bentosh. And I point to him when I say Bentosh.
No.
Oh, no, and that's at least a start. And so I'll sit down next to him, if you'll let me.
Yeah.
I am here with my friends. We're just going on a little boat ride. Do you have any tattoos?
Bentosh Nesto.
He points at the window.
I see this is not going anywhere. I will be back later, but you're very strong. I pat him on the shoulder, or like on the back as I stand up. And
Pats you on the back as well.
and I like you.
Balbolfikal.
Infidelia. And I keep doing that as I back out slowly from the room.
Infidelia name.
He waves at you as
I
you
would.
leave.
Okay. And I'll just go out into the hall, because we don't speak the same language. I can't really get very far with him.
Walk out. He's like following you out. Like so, Kyra a few seconds ago wandered past. Where did you want to go?
I'm headed up. I know that we know the bathroom is up here, but I'll be checking for people up here. And when I see that there isn't anyone up there, I'll loop back around down to the eastern portion. And when I walk by this other room, do I see that half-elf woman in there?
Yeah, you'll see her. I can bring you over. I think apparently because I'm a player, I can't. She's in this room here. That you will know. So I'll pop you here. I think probably as you wander around, Infidelia, you walk out as you Errol Pay probably end your conversation down here and turn around, seeing Infidelia walking back out, kind of looking a little perplexed, even for Infidelia's kind of strange non-expressioned face most of the time. And then you also see Kyra kind of just do a once round, and she heads down towards the other side. What are you other two doing? Infidelia, Errol Pay next.
I walk up to Delia and I go, "Oh, did you hit on him too?"
No, I just we tested our strength.
What? You didn't talk to him?
Oh, he does not speak our language, so it's I mean, would you like to try?
No, you should talk to him. He seems to. And is he? Do I notice he's following her?
He's just doing exactly the same thing he's done the entire time. He's just staring.
Oh, he's just there?
Yeah.
Is he still staring at her though?
Yeah.
He seems to be like into you. I think you should go talk to him again. Trust me. I think I can help.
How would you help? Also, we are not here for mating.
Oh, I mean, if that's what you want to do, I mean, I wouldn't stay in the room.
You have a crush on him, do you not?
Oh, no. Gross. Ugh. How would you say that? No, I'm saying I can understand him. Maybe. We'll see.
Do you speak his tongue?
Mm-hmm. No, why would I speak? No, his tongue? I don't want his tongue. No, I'm saying like I
grab her.
I'm magic.
I just grab her shoulder like gently and start walking back into the room.
Okay.
Yeah, you two like kind of wander into that room. I'll sideswipe over to Cairo, who was looking towards the other room here. What are you doing, Cairo.
So I just peek my head in here, and when I see that there's someone in here, I say, "Oh, hi. Sorry, I didn't mean to. Just taking a look around the ship."
Yeah, you step in. You see another half-elven woman. She has kind of straight red hair, pretty young looking. But again, even among each other, it's not always easy to tell how old one another is. Elves can live up to about 500 max. Usually they don't hit that. Half-elves, nowhere near as much. But it's still kind of hard to tell. She just looks like she's kind of chilling. She's sitting in a chair. She has a book open on her lap, and she looks up from it kind of wide-eyed for a moment, as if she's kind of startled for a sec. And then her face kind of softens quickly, and she says, "Oh, hello."
Hi, my name's Cairo.
Nice to meet you, Cairo. My name is Kreia. Can I help you?
No, not really. I'm just taking a look around the ship here. I don't sail very often, so I like to get a good idea of my surroundings, get my bearings, you know?
Yes. She looks a little confused, but, she kind of takes a moment. I'm going to roll one dice. She goes, 23.
Whoa, I'm 22.
Darn, very close.
How did you get that close? I mean, I see that you're a half-elf, yeah?
Yes, not quite as young as you, though.
All right, let me try. I'll just kind of take a harder look at her.
Yeah, give me an insight check.
53.
Oh, all right. She says, "Oh, I wish, yes, no. Maybe double that."
Oh, wow. Well, hopefully no insult taken either way.
Absolutely not.
What's that you're reading?
Oh, this? She closes it so as not to lose a place in the book. She holds it up. On the front of it, you can see what might be Elven script. What languages do you speak?
Let's see. I have Elvish, Sylvan, Orc, and Common.
In Sylvan, it says Adventures of the Feywilds.
When she holds that up, I'll say, Adventures of the Feywilds!
Yes, have you read it?
I have!
Yes, I rather believe it to be more of a informational tome than a story, but it's presented as such,
I have to agree.
Yes, well, you dabble in magic, perchance?
Well, let me look around. A little bit.
Oh. In what sense? What school of magic do you belong?
If somebody's hurt, I can tend their wounds. It's a little trick that I've learned. And, I have some, battle skills too, but those I don't have to use those very often. And, I can kind of talk to animals.
Do you have your bow and stuff on you?
I probably don't have my bow on me. I think I laid that on the bed and stowed away some other things, but I do have Keepy on my shoulder.
She looks at the owl and she says, perhaps you've stayed more in touch with your elven heritage than I did then. Stayed in the woods, perhaps learning the ways of the ranger or the druid?
Yeah. I'm a hunter of sorts, a ranger, I suppose.
Ranger? What do you hunt?
Oh, mostly tracks.
Oh.
So that I can find the animals.
Oh, right, yes, I thought for a moment you meant at the behest of the king,
Oh, no, not at all. I try not to kill unless I absolutely must.
Yes, of course. What's the biggest thing you've hunted?
Well, I suppose that would have been, and I'm checking off things that seem too absurd or would make me seem like I have a really cool job, which I do. Bear.
Yeah, deception check.
Oh, shit. She's gonna know. You're
it. Yes.
You, natural 20. You pull it off. She seems to, I think actually, give me an insight check here.
Sure. Yeah, I want to know what's going on in her brain. 16.
There's a moment where her expression kind of shifts a little bit, as if she expected one answer and then you gave her a completely different one. And she seems to calm down a little bit, as if she was a little on edge when you were first speaking to her, as if you were being interrogated yourself almost, as she was a little concerned about something, and then she calms a little bit and says, "Yeah, well, perhaps you won't find any bears on the ship. Is that why you're heading towards the dwarven homelands? Do they have different bears over there? I'm afraid I don't know much about."
You know, I bet they do have different bears over there, but actually, I'm more just keeping a promise here to my best friend. You see, I told Keepy after I trained him that we would travel the world and he would get to see the world. So, now we're going to the Dwarven lands, which, reminds me, I was gonna ask you, if it's not too intrusive, why are you headed there?
Oh, well, it's rather a long story, really, but I sort of have nowhere else to go, I would say.
Nowhere else to go? Do you mind if I ask why?
It's not a story that a young lady like you would be too interested in, I'm sure.
Well, I don't know. I'm really curious about most things, but if I'm prying, I understand.
Yes, well, you're just not sure who you can trust some days, you know?
Certainly.
I
Yeah,
see.
the more I travel, the more I believe that.
Yes, well, I suppose wouldn't hurt to tell you I'm already almost all the way there. There's a particular earl who lives in Solva, and, well, I got on the wrong side of him. I
Oh, you're fleeing.
have a way with magic of my own, but it gets in a
Oh,
rather wild state sometimes if I'm a little upset or confused.
oh. So your mood can influence your magics.
Yes, somewhat.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well,
I'm sorry you got on the wrong side of an earl. That can't be a good place to be.
well, no, not really. I rather turned him blue.
Blue.
Yes.
Dead?
Oh, no. His skin, I accidentally, well, turned him blue.
I just kind of involuntarily chuckle, genuinely. Blue, as in blue. Oh.
Give me an insight check.
Whoops, you're blue.
Because she seems
13.
nervous as heck. Telling you this story. She's kind of like shifty, like looking around while she's telling you it, and I think you get the sense that she's like super anxious about telling you the thing. Yeah, it's a little strange, but
Yeah, 13. What do I see?
that's it. That's what you get on
That's
the
it.
thing,
She's just
yeah.
anxious.
You
Okay.
get like an overwhelming sense of nervousness from her.
Well, I mean, it was an accident, so plus, could have been worse, you know. Could have turned him into a frog or something worse.
Yes, I suppose so. Yes, there's far worse ways it could have gone.
Right. Do you think he's gonna pursue you?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Oh. Wow, you're gonna be on the run. That's
Right.
an exciting life, at least.
Well, yeah, it would be exciting if I was more like you, able to hunt and track and, fire a bow, that kind of thing. I would rather
I'm sure
prefer,
you'll do fine.
well, I would rather just read my books and keep myself to myself.
Sure. Well, I'll let you relax, and I'll just. But anyway, yeah, nice to meet you, Kreia.
Yes, and you too as well, Kyra. Have a safe
Yeah.
journey. Feel free to stop by, and if you'd like to borrow this book, you can.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. Take care.
She nods at you.
So I walk on out to the hallway here, and I have my sort of second strike out, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to go downstairs or check this guy in the corner, but that's where I'm at.
Sure. Flipping back over to Infidelia and Elplay, you wander into this room again. The Goliath kind of sees you two have a conversation and then follows you, tracks you back into the room and says,
Artosh. Name Infidelia.
I would like to cast Comprehend Languages.
"You may cast Comprehend Languages, wizard. Comprehend Languages."
Yeah.
Just to remind myself everything that it can do.
I think I can just comprehend, but I can't speak it.
Yeah, you for the duration you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any written language you see. You must be touching the surface on which the words are written. It takes about 1 minute to read one page of text. It doesn't decode secret messages and blah 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 blah. This lasts for an hour. So you cast this. How does it look? How does your character cast spells and stuff? Like what do you do?
I walk over to the bed, which is right there, and I pick up a book. And you just see me like scrolling through it, but then eventually the pages just start like turning on their own. And I'm like, oh, and I slam the book shut. I put it down and I go, I see. Okay, I know what he is. Okay, cool. Hello. I'm obviously can't speak the same language, but I sit down, I just look at him, and I'm like, you should talk to him. You should say something. I look at Delia. You say something.
I brought a friend.
Mabodombe Vikal.
He says, so I will just speak in English for you now, but I assume now you will translate through this as he speaks to Infidelia, but he kind of looks at you a little moment while you look through the book, but he really remains concentrating.
He doesn't give a shit about me. I'm just the annoying girl.
Yeah, he says,
Are you asking my name? Vikal.
What was that last? Oh, Vikal. Okay. Yeah. He asked if you were asking his name, and he said it's Vikal.
Your name is Vikal. That's a beautiful name. And I just stare at him like I'm not blinking, and he's not blinking, so we're just kind of like staring at each other.
Yes, my name is Vikal.
Yes, that's his name. Ask him something. Anything.
Okay. Do you have any tattoos?
I like your arms.
He likes your arms.
I like your arms as well.
Shall we wrestle arms again?
He wants to wrestle your arms again? That's weird. What, you guys were wrestling in here?
Yeah, we're doing arm. You know, when you yes, I would like to do that.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, oh, okay. Uh-huh.
I'll go back over and put my hand up for another arm wrestle. And I'm gonna look at his arms. Like, does he have a sleeve up? All the way?
He has, like, he just has like a fur kind of animal skin sort of top coat almost. It's almost like pauldrons and then fur that wraps somewhat down over across the front of him and then around his neck, and then a loincloth. He has like nothing else on, not even shoes.
When I look at his body, do I see any?
I like look underneath, like,
yeah. Are there any glimmers of like what might be a tattoo or anything anywhere?
Oh, he's covered in lots of tattoos, and it's all sort of tribalistic tattoos. He also has scarification as well, and lots of piercings.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. You just wrestle him and stuff. This is gonna be interesting. Just do it. I've never seen this. You guys are strong. I'm not. I want to see this.
No, you are in for a treat.
I know.
And I'll arm wrestle him.
I'm gonna investigate him while she's wrestling him.
Yeah, give me an investigation check. He puts an arm up and says,
Mi batachito. I will win this time.
and holds his arm up. Let me roll for him again. You
He
have
says
to
he's
beat
gonna win.
a 1. I thought it was a 7. It's a 1. Can you beat a 1?
We'll try it. I got a 3.
Whoa. You're both so exhausted, but neither of you are willing to show it. right? And you both kind of just, and then he says,
Okay, I let you win.
but you can see that he struggles, and then just like, he lets you win. But he doesn't. You win.
I win. I say, of course you do, and then I step back and I give him a wink, but it's a really awkward wink because I don't close my eyes very much, and it just slightly half closes and then opens again.
He nods. He nods his head at you and says,
Dirty.
Dirty?
"Yeah."
And I'm
Give me
like
a-
translating,
give me a
but I'm just
history
also
check.
sitting here like this, like
Both of you give me a history check. On your 11 on your investigation, you only see tribal tattoos on him. You don't see a dragonfly or anything other than just kind of patterns and shapes. The scarification, there seems to be certain areas on his body that are scarred, and they're in kind of lines, almost as if they're the tribal tattoos just seem to be tattoos that are reminiscent of maybe his home, and the scars are maybe kills, that kind of thing, or victories is the sense you get. But there isn't anything like the dragonfly or anything that's an animal or a shape necessarily. History. Both of you understand enough about Goliath for whatever reason you want to know that Dirty is kind of like how Goliaths say okay almost. It's how they kind of confirm. It doesn't mean dirty. It's just a Goliath word that is kind of like, this is okay, I accept. This is fine, that kind of thing. It's just a Goliath thing.
Do you understand me?
yes, I do.
No, I'm asking him.
He says,
I let you win. Next time I win.
He said he let you win. He's gonna win next time.
But do you understand what I am saying?
You will not defeat me. I take
You
you to
will
my
not
village. I am biggest.
You'll not defeat him according to him. I don't know if he understands you. Maybe you should try speaking more, dumb down what you're saying.
I mean, if he does not understand the words to begin with, I don't know.
No, but
I'll
you
try
speak
it.
better than him. Like, you just speak better. Like, dumb down what you're saying. Pretend like just dumb it
Well,
down.
I hope that he does not understand what we are saying.
Oh.
And I just look at her.
Oh.
Do you me speak words? You understand?
he says, he stares at you a moment and says,
I do not know what you say.
Well, then that clears it up.
He's lying. He's lying. Can I tell if he's
give me
lying?
yeah, you can give me an insight check.
Okay. 22.
He's so not lying. He just seems to be kind of pretty. He's really simple to you as a like super intelligent wizard type. He just seems like he's very simplistic. He's pretty straightforward. He definitely seems to be trying to understand what's going on here. But it seems more like he just seems to be interested in her in the sense that she's strong. It's a respectful thing for him again. But he just doesn't really know what's going on. He's just sitting. This is all he does. He's a bit like a dog, right? He just kind of like, this is his one single focus right now. He's not really bothered about anything else that's going on. That's why he's not looking at you. Doesn't seem to be distracted by any like seagulls fly out the window or something like that.
I get up and I'm like, listen, I think you guys should just bang it out, and I don't think there's anything here. I'm gonna go find Cairo, and maybe we can meet up in about 10 minutes. You think 10 minutes is good? Do you think 10 minutes?
Do not leave yet. I need to try one thing. And I'm gonna walk up to him and I'm gonna lean into his ear.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna say, so you said the tattoo was a dragonfly, correct?
No, there is no dragonfly tattoo on him.
Not on him, but that's what we're looking for.
Yeah,
correct?
yeah. Sorry, yeah.
And I'm just gonna very quietly say to him is the dragonfly, and I want to see if he reacts to it.
Okay. And you lean into his ear and say it.
Mm-hmm.
Give me an insight check. You can both give me insight checks.
13.
13 and a 10. he blushes and is taken aback from it, and it's the first time he stops looking at Infidelia, and then he looks at you, Errol Pay, for a moment, and then looks back and says,
If you are saying what I think you are saying, perhaps we find somewhere else to go.
Oh, I was right. He wants to bang you.
Maybe another time.
No. You should do it. I mean, hey, girl, let's do it. Like, not let's, like, not me, but you. I'm not gonna. No, I'm gonna. You know what? I get up and I like start to scurry away.
We have things to do. We do not have time to bang it out.
I point to her and I'm like, she likes you. You strong?
I pick her up and throw her over my shoulder and carry her out of the room.
he's like nodding, and as you leave, he says,
I see, yes. Full combat. Soon. Very well.
Full combat?
yeah, he says full
Oh,
combat.
I think that
soon.
means with his, his sword, his other sword. You know what I'm saying? As I'm like over her shoulder, I'm like,
Yeah.
just bring that.
I'm gonna carry her out and then I'm just gonna place her down outside of the room
Yeah.
and just shake my head at her.
I understand.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys head out. I think probably Cairo, you're heading out of your side here. A
Yep.
quick side swipe up, and we see Lyra is kind of like tending deftly to a sail on the top deck, and yeah, the three of you maybe make eye contact. Like Infidelia is like carrying Errol Pay out of the room, which might be a little odd. I don't know. I don't know how often this maybe happens. Between how many times do you think you have to literally pick her up
It happens a lot.
every day?
I let
Every
my mouth
room.
go way too much.
Every
It's
room.
so easy for her because I'm so much smaller than her.
Right. So yeah, this classic situation is happening. And yeah, the three of you maybe lock eyes across this room here. Give me perception checks.
Okay. 10.
10, 4,
6.
4. Errol Pay, you are the only person, and probably barely. Something is different about this room when you walk out, and you're at a strange vantage point, and maybe as Infidelia is like picking you up and like placing you on the ground like a cat, you realize that guy Zan is gone.
Do you have a gold? No, wait. Actually, Brad, do I have a gold? I didn't see it on my sheet. Do I
A
have gold?
gold? Let's see here. You oh, actually, you guys have a set amount of gold. Roll me a D100.
Okay. 47.
You have 47 gold
Okay.
as a group.
I don't even say anything. I see that Zan's gone, and I run up to Goodtail. I hand him a piece of gold, and I'm like, "Where did guy who can't take a hint go? Tell me a tale. I want to hear a tale. Make it short. Make it sweet."
That oaf went below decks. Perhaps you should tell your wee lassie over there.
Which one? Which lassie?
Points at Cairo.
Oh, hey, Cairo, that guy that didn't take a hint. He went under decks. If you want to like. And I'm like basically doing the same thing that I did to Delia. I'm like trying to like pimp her. If you want to like, woo.
Actually, do you want to come with me?
What? No, that's weird. What? Oh no, I don't.
It's not like that.
Uh,
We haven't been down there yet.
and I look at Goodtail. I hand him 2 more gold, and I'm like, "You're coming with us. We're about to get a good story."
All right, got nothing better to do.
Yeah. So I was like, "Let's go. We should go down together." Oh, I run over to her. I guess 'cause she's on the other side.
I was gonna say, if you guys are going down that way, I'll go with you.
So you all want to go below decks?
My
the
main
lowest
hand pulls at Delia's hand. Like,
Yeah.
it's like pulling.
I would come with like I just not saying anything and eyeing up Goodtail as I walk by, staring at Goodtail.
Yeah, I mean, Goodtail's coming with you as well. He's like following. He seems to be kind of just interested in doing anything that's fun. He's like a YouTuber that needs to vlog today, right? He needs to find something good to do to make a story out of it, maybe make a buck on the other end of the trip. So all 4 of you kind of head down below decks here. When you go down these steps, it's only a short way, and but the below decks here is huge. The ceiling is much taller than the cabin that you've been in. It's maybe like 7 to 8 feet in this cabin, whereas below decks it's about 15 feet high. And there are 2 huge, great locomotive trains. The front part of these 2 steam-fueled trains that you can see here, and they're kind of wrapped in ropes and tied down at the center of the lowest deck here, and they go all the way up to the ceiling. They're butting heads with the ceiling. You don't see the fellow you're looking for, but you do hear him. You can hear like a scuffling, and you can hear him kind of messing around with stuff down there. Let me just drag you over to the below decks area. Up, over here somewhere, and then I'll drag you over to there. So yeah, there's these 2 great big locomotive trains that are wrapped up here. This seems to clearly be like the main cargo that's being ferried. And you can hear a guy kind of messing around. It sounds like he's messing with some cargo or something on the other side.
I say to Errol and Delia, oh, actually, I'll be right back. I'm gonna run up to our room and grab my bow with its little like sheath thing, so it's not quite as shiny, and come back down.
I make them wait, and I like stare at both of them as like I just stare between them like some kid and their mommy and daddy or some weird shit. Like I just make it really awkward.
The dwarf is just kind of standing there looking at you as well, like, should we be here? What is this, a meat cute?
Oh,
And then I pop back in.
Good tale. You want to tell a good tale? You gotta be quiet.
Give me a perception check, both of you that are down there, while Cairo runs off.
15.
Yep, 15. 5. Infidelia, I don't know what's happening to you, but you're not concentrating on anything for the moment here.
Thinking about something else.
Just the I'm not putting words in your mouth. But
My mind's distracted.
at one point you realize that the shuffling noises stop instantly on the other side of the room. Cairo, you start coming down the stairs here, and someone shouts, is anyone there?
I like do this to Delia and Goodtail. And then I look around and I pat on Goodtail and I'm like, you gotta go say something. I think he'll be more comfortable with you.
Wait, what? Why? I'm not trying to bang him. Send her down. This is Kairo's creeping down the
what
stairs.
if he wants, like, what? No, but what if he's more comfortable with, like, you're a dwarf. You could just pretend like you work here.
What? He knows I don't work here. Doesn't he? He work here.
Oh, does he? I don't know.
I don't know.
Is Cairo coming back now?
Yeah, Cairo, you're back.
Yeah, I'm back down. I'll say,
You gotta go hit on him again.
yeah, I'll just head over there.
Yeah. We'll just be back here behind the train things.
Hello? I can
Sounds
hear
good.
you.
Oh,
Who's that?
hey,
Pop around
hey,
the corner.
Zan.
Take your shirt off. It's better.
I look down to see just how loose this is, like almost like I'm considering what she's saying, and then I just kind of adjust it a little bit, like, oh.
Give me an insight check as you poke your head around the corner.
Insight. 6.
He just looks like confused as to what's happening, and he gives you a little wave. Oh, hi.
Hey there. I was just taking a look around. I don't suppose there's any food down here.
I don't really know. I think maybe they're transporting some, but we can't, we can't just open the boxes and
Can't
help
crack into
ourselves.
that. Speaking of transporting, what are these? And
Uh,
I move to the train car and I look it up and down.
yeah, give me an investigation check.
As she's doing that, can I This thing that we're looking for, what we're looking for, can I detect magic on it?
What are you looking for?
Well, aren't we looking for the illegal, what is it, Arcana or something?
Yeah, but I think
And what if I think this is the, like, if we have a speculation that this is the guy, he would be near it? Or is this magic not the same?
You can cast detect magic on an item. Or
okay.
you can do a sort of sonar if you just want to cast detect magic. It gives you a kind of general, like a sonar ping of general magic around you, and I think you concentrate on it.
Okay, I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
Can I cast charm person, but get him to charm to someone else?
You want to cast charm person to get him to do what?
Charm someone else, Cairo. Like Cupid bow this shit.
You want to Cupid bow him?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let me just
I'm
see what
going-
charm person does.
I think they know they're charmed though, when it's over.
They do know when it's over. Yeah, when the spell ends, the creature knows it was charmed by you. And essentially what it does is when you charm the person, they regard you as a friendly acquaintance. Is sort of the out of combat thing. He'll just become your best friend. It's not really a thing where you can. There is other spells where you can completely control his mind, right, and make him do shit, and input emotions and stuff into people. But this one is more like force him to befriend you. He'll just treat you like he's your like BFFs.
Well, I don't see the harm in not doing it because, I mean, if it's not the right guy, he'll just be like, what the fuck? And I'll be like, I don't give a fuck. So
Sure. So
I'm going to charm him to, like, as soon as she starts adjusting her cleavage, they, like, bounce around seductively, and he's just like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Charm him.
Sure. You cast charm person while, as you, like, because you have to get a little closer to do it, I think. So you start maybe moving around to do that.
I'm like over here by now, and I have them follow me, hopefully.
Yeah. And Kara, you're looking over this locomotive. What this is, you know what this is, on a 16. And it is a gnomish design locomotive train.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty standard stuff. It's designed to work with the Arcanii rail. It's legal Arcanii, of one of the very few things that people are legally allowed to use as Arcanii. They both look exactly the same, pretty much. Like they're just like they've come off the same thing, or the same guy made them, that kind of thing. They're like exactly the same, but they're dormant. It doesn't seem to have all of the parts attached to it. It doesn't have any of the engine parts that would make it run. It just seems to be kind of the shell and maybe put together at the other end. He points at it and says, "Oh, that's a train."
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never seen a train
sure.
before?
Sure is. No, I've definitely seen them. I was just a little bored. You know, there's not really much going on this ship. I was thinking maybe I'll have a look on it and just it's brand new, huh?
Then you adjust your shirt and he looks weird. Something changes in his eyes.
Something's changed.
And he kind of like he shakes his head a little bit. He like looks you over a little more, and he's like, right, yeah. He looks behind you though, and sees Errol Pay.
And I'm like, oh, hey.
And he winks at you, Errol Pay.
Oh, hi. My name's Errol. You can call me Errol. This is Cairo, and she's very pretty, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, right. Well, yeah, I'm, checking on cargo.
What about the cargo? Is there like a lot of cool... Do they have wine or any sort of booze here? That'd be really fun. We could have a party.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we should get some wine. Hey, can you excuse us a moment? He says to you, Cairo.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yep. And I'm gonna pass by Errol and say, nice
nice. Hey, just try and see if he has like a dragonfly tattoo, and yeah, see what you can find out. Good job.
And all I whisper back is, "You should have shown more boob." Like walk forward a little bit.
He beckons you over to him and says, as you get close, he says, "What on earth are you doing here?" We're about to go. Are you supposed to be coming with us?
Yeah, actually. Did you not?
How on earth are you going to fit on it? It's designed for 2 people.
I mean, I'm pretty small. I mean, I know I'm tall, but I'm pretty. I mean, look at this. I'm pretty thin.
Shit.
Like I could sit on your lap.
Who sent you?
Does it matter? Like, aren't we on a time frame
yes,
right
because
now?
they're a blithering idiot.
Well, okay, let's not resort to insults right now, okay? It's not the time.
Well, now is exactly the time because one of us is going to bloody die.
Wait. Why are we gonna die? And I try to say that a little bit louder, so if they're kind of like within ear distance, they might.
Infidelia and Kyra, give me perception checks. He's speaking really quietly, but you lift that up a little bit at the end. He says, "Oh my God, shouldn't you be on the lark or something?"
Listen, okay. Do you know who it doesn't matter. You don't know who I am, and that's perfectly fine. However,
I don't know who you are.
I'm sent here to protect you guys. Don't you know this? I will help you get safe passage. I have
What
powers.
are you talking about?
Can I?
On those perceptions, both of you catch the "why are we gonna die" sentence or whatever it was, the important part that she was pushing for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna sneak a little closer here. Out of view though, so I guess I can't round the corner.
Yeah, you can do that. You guys can creep. Your heads pop around the corner. You're Scooby-Dooing around the corner for this thing.
Can I use investigation? Do I see a tattoo on his visible body right now?
Give me a perception check, I think.
Perception, okay.
Yeah, because you're kind of glancing.
7.
You don't see anything on him, no. But he's kind of like, not only does he look like he's fighting against the spell almost, like he's got an element of just pure confusion because he's been bombed with something, but he completely regards you as an ally. But aside from that, he's kind of like, he's almost panicking as he's like looking around, and he says, "I suppose we're all going to have to fit on, but I don't even know if it works with all of us in. There's like
you need to calm down.
We're going to have to lay. Have you spoken to Kreia?
You need to keep your voice down. Someone could hear us." And I try to say that loud enough.
We're almost there. All these people, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. They'll be dead soon enough, okay?
Why
We've got
are
to
they
figure
gonna
out how we're going to keep ourselves safe. Keep you safe.
Yeah, I know.
Kreia's going to sacrifice one of us.
Or we sacrifice Kreia.
Oh yes, well we're going to take on Kreia, are we?
Well, I mean, are you weak? You don't look weak, but I mean, are you?
Well, no, but she can immolate people and just turn them into animals and things. I can't do anything against that, can I?
You can't. Oh, wait. Are you saying that you can't immolate people? I mean, I thought we all could. Oh.
No, I can't. I'm just here to operate the thing.
Oh, well, I can. Anyway, that's not important. That's not. I think that we could win this, and we could, escape without Kreia, or we could just, like I said,
How are we going to get the Arcanii off the ship? Can you blow a hole in the bottom of the ship?
Do you want me to? Can you swim?
Yes.
If you can't swim, then blow a hole. Like, how are we gonna blow a hole? What are you saying?
I assumed she was gonna burn it or whatever she does. Isn't that the plan?
Yeah.
Can you do that?
You're right. Yeah, I can. Yep, I
can?
like fire a lot. You underestimate how much I like fire.
Right. Well, you're right. she might be my wife, but
I was like,
we're going to have to leave her
have you
behind.
seen me? Have you seen who I am? You know what my
Right,
species
yes, of course,
does.
yes,
We
yeah,
like.
of course, yes.
Okay.
I shouldn't doubt you. Right. Well then, let's do it now. Let's do it before she comes down here then. Quickly.
You want us to burn it right now?
Yes, that's what she's going to bloody do. Any moment now. Quickly, before she comes down, we can get off the ship.
Okay. You want me to go to the other side and start fires?
Just do it
You go
underneath
over-
the thing. He's like pointing at the train. The giant train next to you. Oh,
And
wait, no.
I point to the train. I point to the train, and I'm like, yes, I know it's right there.
Right. Let's get
I
in
will
it.
start
Let's
the
get in the thing.
fire.
We'll get in the thing. Can you do it from in the thing?
Yes, go ahead and get in it.
Let's get in the
And
thing.
I'm like yelling this, so that way I hope, like not yelling, but I'm saying it loud enough that they should be able to hear, unless they're just deaf.
Yeah, he hits the keg that he's standing next to, right? And by the
Yeah.
way, there's just one keg on this side of the ship that's like there. He hits it, and give me an Arcana check. You're a mage.
Really? I'm rolling really bad.
This is the 11. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you kind of understand what happens here. You're not sure exactly how, but something was casting what was essentially kind of a programmed illusion or a major image, something like that. It's a sort of illusionary spell. The train, which was the exact duplicate on this side, vanishes, and everyone sees it vanish. Underneath there instead, attached to its own sort of set of robes, is one of the weirdest things you guys probably have ever seen. You see this very strange, almost certainly Arcanii. You guys have seen this stuff. They always look really weird, steampunk-esque kind of looking thing, but they always have elements to them that are usually like an Arcanii source, or they fire something magical, or they're being powered by something magical. And they're often very alien, and they would look alien even to you guys each time. You see something that I think probably all of you notice is made out of a certain type of steel. There's a very specific type of steel called Yoskorin light steel and glass. This Arcanii thing looks kind of like to us as a submersible, right? Is what it would look like to us in modern times. To you guys, it would look really strange, like an odd cart. And there's a top, a hatch that you can see, and then a very small window made of glass. Other than that, it's a strange looking thing with whirring parts to it that are already turning. And he hits the thing, revealing Cairo and Infidelia on the other end of the train, and shit! Quick!
What are they? Who are they? Are they your friends?
No! Kill them quick!
Oh, right.
What's happening? We were just coming to
I
see.
take him, and I'm like, I'm a caster. You go first, and I try to daintily push him in their direction.
He doesn't move. He's like, the fire, do the fire quickly.
Oh right, I forgot about that. I cast Firebolt on him.
Firebolt. Okay, yeah, give me a firebolt attack.
25.
Damn, give me the damage.
1.
You like kind of cast like fire on him, and does this break the spell when you do damage to these? I think it does.
I think so.
It ends when you do anything harmful to it.
But they should know by now to like run in there, maybe.
Right, yeah. You see her suddenly turn around, and just like a little spurt of fire comes up out of her hands and catches him alight.
I think I'm like touching because I'm trying to push him, and it's like
Yeah,
I
and
like light his sleeve on fire, but I don't
flame
hurt him.
runs up his tunic, and he maybe sets on fire from and then you see him snap out of it. You bastards!
I didn't do anything.
And you see him kind of like reach for a sword that he doesn't have on his belt, and he puts his hands up. Right, and he starts to back up. Okay, I don't know what's going on here. He starts to shout very loudly. This wasn't the plan.
He's calling in that chick who's really powerful. We should probably take him down before she gets here.
Can I cast Charm Person on him?
Yes, you can, but he can make a save. I gave you the benefit of the doubt last time. This time he has to make a save.
Okay.
What is your
Oh god.
spell save DC? Let me double check. if it's even on your sheet, I'll jump into it to check you. Spell save DC is on your spells page at the top in the middle. Oh, sorry, I closed your thing, I think.
That's fine. It's 14.
14. So he has to beat a 14.
Okay.
And he literally just rolls a d20, I think. And 5. He shouts like, "This is not going to plan. Quickly, deal with these two." He points at Elpe and Cairo. Quick, before she comes down here. We need to get on this thing.
I shout over to Delia, or I guess I don't shout, she's right near me. And I say, find out who gave him the order. Find out who he works for.
Can I shout back? Or, well, I don't hear that. Never mind.
First of all, give me a strength save because he's going to grab you.
Oh.
Me?
Yeah, you got to beat an 11.
I'm really strong. What are you talking about? I'm really strong.
You had to beat an 11. Like he grabs Errolpate like in like a chokehold and starts to just strangle her. He's choking you out.
As I'm like choking, I'm like, God, I'm not into
Right,
this.
you take care of that one quickly.
I'm not into this.
Could you please stop choking her?
What?
Stop choking her.
Are you mad? Quickly.
No, I've got it under control. Just stop choking her.
He loosens the grip, but he doesn't let you go, right? He's still got you, but you're like, what are you talking about?
Who set this up again? So I can get in touch with them?
Cedric.
Of course, Cedric. I forgot. Yeah, just give me her. I'll take care of her. Both of them. I have a plan.
Well, what's your plan? Because we need to go before she comes down here.
Well, you just sit, and I will go get her.
We have to leave any moment or we're going to miss the drop-off point.
I know that. Just
I wonder
give me
where
her.
this Cedric is from.
You shut up.
Has a
Shut
last
your mouth.
name.
Oh, no, she has a good. Where is Cedric from again?
What are you talking about?
I tell Delia, wouldn't it be unfortunate if an axe were entered into this equation? Why are you choking me?
He's like dragging at you, like shush you. Stop it.
Infidelia has a sickle that she carries around with her, so
Right.
I'll just gonna walk over and kind of like put it in
His head.
No.
That's not what I meant. I meant the guy that hit like she. And I'm like choking.
Oh, there's two Cedrics I know, and I look at Van again. Which Cedric?
Cedrics?
Yeah, there's two Cedrics. Which one do you know, and which one is where is he from?
Cedric, the only Cedric. The man who put this all together. It's all going down. This is it.
I'm gonna
still
try
here.
to take his hands off of gosh.
He kind of
say
like
your name
lets
right.
go, but he's like
Errol.
he like
Errol.
trusts you
Errol.
implicitly. Like
Okay.
you know, like he's like so imagine if you were best friends, right? And these are the enemies. He's so confused, but he's kind of trusting right now of like what is happening. And he says, "Right, fine." He kind of pushes you away, Errolpe, and then turns to the thing and says, "Right." And he just starts to turn the top of it. There's a hatch that he seems to turning a whatever them spinny things are called to open.
I would like to run and grab Axeman. Valkal.
You're running upstairs, yeah? Okay,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
You start running
I'm
up.
running as fast as I can.
Yep. Kara, what are you doing right now during this whole thing?
Good question. I've been sort of trying to feed questions to Delia to get out of him. My intelligence is super high, so I'm imagining I'm kind of, the cogs are turning over here, and I know that when we see Lyra again, she's very, business oriented. Like, what'd you guys find out? What do we know? Like, what can we report back? So I'm thinking along those lines, and I'm thinking like, Delia, more info. Does his wife have any weaknesses? Can we find out any more about Cedric?
I'm gonna grab Van's hands and hold them in my hands as he's like untying it. I just want to grab his hands.
He's like, what are you doing? Quickly, we have to get in here. How are we going to get this thing off of
To
it?
take a few deep breaths. Breathe with me.
Right.
Okay, 1, 2. Tell me, where does your wife have any weaknesses?
My wife. Does she have any weaknesses? Well, I suppose she bleeds like the rest of us, right?
Okay. Does she not like poison, fire, and
Well, she likes fire.
swords?
She likes fire a lot. He's like trying to get. Oh, can you open this quickly? If we just get on this thing, maybe she won't
Yes.
know we're on it, and maybe we can just get away.
And I put his hands down and I start to pretend to open it, but like I'm not doing anything.
Do we
I'm
have
just
to
making.
kill her? Really? Maybe we can all
Oh,
fit
to
in.
kill your wife?
You're
Yes.
rather large.
Well, now tell me more about Cedric so we can make sure we do this right for him.
You mean tell me more about Cedric? Did you not? You never met the man?
I met him once at a party.
Right.
But tell me more about what you know about him. I'd like to know.
I don't think now is quite the time.
And I look over at Cairo and just like give her a look of like, this guy is just not giving me anything.
Not working with me here.
He's just so confused by you, and he's like rambling a little bit as well, like as he's turning the thing. Isn't that why we're all here?
Okay. In that case, I'm gonna dash up and get Lyra. All I know is that she went top deck.
Right.
So
You go,
she seems to have him charmed. I'm going top
running
deck.
up. Errol Pay goes running into the room with the Goliath.
Yeah.
Side swipe quickly over to you, and I won't change all the stuff, but Errol Pay, you go running into the room, and the Goliath is just sat there. And, I mean, you walk in, he looks at you.
I run up and I grab his hands, and my hands are just so tiny compared to his.
He's not
And
even bothered
I
at
actually
all.
have 2 hands wrapped around like his fingers, and I'm like, she want it. It's bad.
Yes,
No.
now is the time.
He
Yes,
stands up
Yes.
and
yes,
starts to walk
fight.
out without his axe.
No. Grab that. Big fight.
A
Big
wrestling
fight.
match. Yes.
No. Yeah,
I am
I mean,
a little tired. I'm ready.
no. And I like pat his chest, and I run up and I pat his axe. I'm like, you'll need this. You need axe.
Weapon,
foot.
is it? To the death. A true warrior, then. Very
No,
well.
but yeah,
As I suspected.
kind of.
Though I fear she may actually be stronger than me. Very well. Small creature.
No.
He picks up.
And I just grab his hand and I
picks
try
up-
to guide him down.
He picks up the axe and like just and puts it on his shoulder and starts to walk behind you. As you walk out, you see Cairo running like just a full sprint across the other side. As you run up the stairs, Cairo, you see the first thing you probably see is the dwarf Black Drink, who's kind of like got crazy eyes, and he is like crazy eyeballing Lyra. The whole time you've been doing whatever you're doing, he's been giving you the stink eye. He looks like he's just about to build up the courage to go over and give you a piece of his mind, when suddenly the camera vision is Cairo's face, worried and looking at you.
Cairo and I have worked together before. I can also probably see that Keepsy, the owl, is agitated as well. So I know something's up. So I will immediately kind of make eye contact with her and then just head over to her. What's wrong?
Bottom deck now.
Got it.
You guys
Yeah,
start
just,
running down.
Yep.
On the way down, if we have like a minute, if it takes us like 30 seconds of floor,
Yep.
I'll try to fill her
I think
in
you
about.
probably doesn't take you that long.
Yeah, probably not even that. I'll just say there's a wizard. I don't know if it's a sorceress or wizard. Kreia, half elf, bad, and Zan, bad. And
Got it.
there's an Arcanii device. Just follow me.
And
I
I
will
do.
bring
I
all of
will
you over
Get
here.
my rifle out of its long map case, though, if I can.
You guys come running down. As you run down, the woman from the room sees you run past and follows you guys out. And as you guys run down the stairs, you can see the other stairway. The Goliath is like walking down proudly, with Errol Pay like kind of dragging at him like faster, and he's just kind of
like
like
a little kid dragging
he's doing
her
the like
hair.
I'm about to walk in and I'm gonna showboat and thing. In the
So, did we-
center of the go on.
Sorry, did we pass Kreia on the way? Or
You
was
did,
she
but you
coming
didn't. I don't
behind
think
us?
you saw her. Like she sees you, and that's what makes her run out. Well, she doesn't run out. She walks out of the room after you guys as you run
okay,
past. And you're
okay.
running down the steps as she leaves her room. You guys
Okay.
come down these steps. On the far side of the room is Errol Pay and the Goliath, which I will bring over here. And in the center of the room is, or as you come down the stairs, pretty close to those stairs, is Infidelia and Zan. And Zan is just freaking out at this point, and he's kind of looking you up and down. For the most part, he seems to be very concerned about your size. As he's saying stuff like the entire time this is you're not going to fit in this thing. Maybe we can, I don't know, I suppose we have to figure out the weight. They told me that the weight is very important. We can't, it's been calibrated, you understand, for me and her, and I don't know what that means. Like, I don't want to be trapped under there. It's like a casket. We're trapped underwater, and we've already got to get through that maelstrom or whatever the hell, and
You need
eventually
to
we'll
take one.
make it to the Dragonfly, and that's, I suppose that's all that matters, but perhaps we can leave. Maybe we can leave a note. Maybe we can tell her, right? We have to leave her behind. She's going to be very, very, very upset. But do we have to kill her? No. We don't
Why do you have to leave your wife behind?
Because we're not going to both fit in this, are we?
But we will figure it out. Sit down and we will talk through the plan.
Sit down. Oh, bloody hell. As everyone starts running down the stairs. What the hell is that?
everyone-
Goliath, like, dung, dung, dung. And, like, you, Errol Pay, are the only person that hears it. He says,
I am here. Single combat will it be? To the death.
And I pat on his chest and I go, you fight him. And I point to Zan and I go, he take her. And I was like, not good. You want her. He take her. You fight him to get her.
Yes, small boy. I will fight her.
And he's like nodding and heading forwards towards where you are. You see Zan turn around. Oh shit! Is he with you? What's going on? Wait a minute. And then at the top of the stairs behind you, Cairo and Lyra, the figure of Kreia appears and says, "What on earth is going on here?" Her eyes immediately start to flame on, kind of like she begins to summon up a spell. You see her like whirling up what looks like a big spell instantly. You want to do anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Something.
pluck my bow first
Yeah.
of all.
Yeah.
You said, because as we were running down the stairs, she gave me cliff notes, which is Kreia bad, Arcanii, and Zan bad.
Yeah.
So I am going to shoot her.
Right, there's a woman behind you who is
Yeah.
like whirling up a
Yeah.
fireball.
Yeah.
Okay, both of you give me attack rolls.
Well, by pluck my bow, I mean I'm plucking the string to activate the magical power of this bow.
Yeah.
But I would like to also attack. So just to clarify,
I'll
I
allow
pluck
it.
the string. That's a bonus action, by the way.
Yeah, you both get attack
and-
rolls. I forget what that does though, your magic
Nice.
bow.
So it gives a +5 to attack or damage for a minute.
Right.
Once per turn, right? Once per turn, I can only use it after a short rest. But my question to you is, do I have to declare if I'm going to use it on the attack or damage before I roll an attack? Or can I decide when I get to which I want to apply it to, depending on what I roll?
I think before, yeah.
Okay. So I'm not going to apply it to the attack this time. So here's the attack. 23.
Okay. You rolled the D10 because you've got your own sort of Arcanii element to this rifle. And
I rolled a
17 and a
Yeah.
23 are both hits. Give me the
Okay.
damages.
Who hits first?
I assume I'm gonna say Lyra does because I didn't give you a turn order here, but you pluck the thing first, so we'll say that Lyra's
Gotcha.
attack is in, she just whirls this gun around and just there's a silent nothingness so, as a full gunshot realistically goes off and strikes the sorceress here. You also fire off a bow. What is the total damage? Hang on.
So I get 4 + 5, that's 9, but I also get Colossus Slayer because she will have taken damage from.
All right, give me all the damage then.
So that's 9 plus when I click on Colossus Slayer, it's not going, but it does say 1d6, so I will do that here. So it's really just 10.
10. So in total,
I think I did 15.
Sorry, it's 1d8, but I don't know how to rectify that now. But
You can roll it again. I'll be
Okay.
I'll be good guy GM.
do,
For once.
1d8. It's still 1.
Wow.
So it's 10 damage total.
All right. So in total it is 10, and then from Lyra it is
15.
15.
Nice.
How do you two want to
Nailed.
kill her?
I feel like we've done this we've worked together before, several times. So I feel like when she said bad and we heard her going down the stairs, like, what's going on in here? We just immediately kind of readied position. And as soon as she crested the staircase, I shot her. And,
Yeah. It was
Tag team.
horrifically like commando SWAT team style as the two of you suddenly just turn. She's like you can hear her kind of incanting as she's about to let loose this fireball. A hole appears in her, like from this silent rifle as it goes off, and there's just a horrible kind of wound that hits her in the chest, and then an arrow punctures up through the bottom of her jaw and into her head, and she just falls backwards. The fire it goes out instantly, and she falls, and then she tumbles down each of the stairs, rolling, dead before she hits the bottom. You hear Zan just scream in the background. Oh God! Oh no! Quickly,
that this
do
is
something!
fatal,
And he's like hitting you in Fidelia, like.
And
But see,
hearing
guys,
him
it takes-
scream, I'll yell over, Don't kill him. We need the info.
And I look at Vikal and I'm like, no, kill him. Kill him.
He turns to you in Fidelia, and he's like grabbing at you. What do we do?
We'll see that we took care of it. Now we don't need to worry about her.
Yes, who are they? Quick!
I pick up. Can I pick up Zan?
You can give me an athletics check. The Goliath is like moving down the stairs. As you hear him, Errol Pays, like he's just saying stuff like,
I don't know what's going on here, but when they're finished with their conversation, our battle to the death will begin.
yes, but he's still kind of moving forward, right? Like he's
And
heading.
I'm just like, yeah.
11. Yes, you can pick him up, but it's a struggle. Like it's not like you're just like whoop. You're lifting him up, and he.
And I'm shouting, maybe knock him out. We'll tie him up. I don't know.
I give him a squeeze. Like I try to calm him by like giving him like, shh, it's okay. But I'm squeezing him hard enough that he'll pass out.
Give me another athletics check. And
An 8.
an 8. Now, I need to remind myself of a rule. 1 second, because I don't do this ever. 'cause
No
it's
more
usually
oxygen for you.
pointless. Give me another athletics
There.
check.
Another one?
Yeah.
Okay. A 2.
You like squeezing him. Everyone else, you can see that he reaches down for the sickle that's on her hip. And takes it off. I don't think infinitely you can tell. He's like you're like crushing him.
Are we able to move or react?
What do you guys want to do? Yeah, everyone bar Infidelia can do something right now. He has it, by the way, in his hand. Right?
Can I cast a cantrip?
Yeah.
Dancing lights to distract him? Like behind Delia, I want to cast like these like wild dancing lights that like are swirling around near his head.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just trying to steal it. I just immediately go like, and I just cast these lights.
Yeah, they just start appearing around his head, and he's immediately like, "Oh, what the?" He's like freaking out by it. What are the other two?
I'm just gonna Hunter's Mark Zan. That's it.
Okay.
I'm gonna move
Actually,
kind of closer to him and
closer.
be following Vikal as he walks closer.
Lyra.
I would like to use my feline agility and try to I'm gonna fucking shoot him. I think if he's gonna attack her with that, I'm gonna shoot him, yeah.
All right, give me the attack roll.
That's unfortunate.
11 is a hit. Yeah, I think a oh my god. All right, well, how do you want to kill him?
I think I do try not to hurt him. I like shoot him in the back, but I'm just reacting, and I see that he grabs her weapon and she doesn't see it, and I know it'll take 2 seconds for him to just ram that up into her ribs and she'd be down. So I just shoot. I don't hesitate.
Yeah.
And yeah.
He has the stats of a commoner from the monster manual because he's pretty much just here to do. He's not a fighter at all. And yeah, you fire at him, and you hear the sound of a sickle drop behind him, Infidelia, as he is shot, and you feel like the warm rush of some blood running over your arms and hands, and he falls very limp quite quickly, and you hear him cough up a bunch of blood, yeah, I mean, these two are
Cairo,
dead.
can you heal him? Fuck.
What? You weren't supposed to kill him? He was. And I point to the Goliath.
Yeah, what is the Goliath's reaction?
It is now time for our duel.
He says and offers to Infidelia, but stands there patiently.
I try to grab his axe. Like, no, not with this. That was for the other guy.
I just pull out my badge, the Inquisitor badge, and it's over
Sure,
now.
he even
so I'll
knows
just like
what that is.
fucking
Let me
hold
just-
that up. Well, because isn't Goodtail here like fucking watching?
He is at this point, like, Goodtail is fucking hiding, by the way. Like,
Yeah.
he's like behind a wall, like he's like freaking out, but he's watching everything intently.
Yeah,
but he's like
gonna get a good tail.
shitting himself.
Yeah.
And he holds his hands up probably as you see. I don't know what's going on. I'll leave. I didn't see nothing.
stay.
I didn't see nothing. I didn't.
Sit.
No, I like
sits
this
down.
guy. Let him stay.
I didn't see nothing.
I'll tell a tale. I'll make him change all our names and everything.
All right.
The,
what the hell happened here?
Well, these guys are bad guys. That thing's Arcana. This guy, and I point to Vakal, he wants to bang Delia, and Goodtail tells stories. So that's kind of what happened. I don't know where you were, but there was a lot happening, and there's a lot of I look at Delia.
I'll butt in and say, so Kreia and Zan are a married couple, and all we know is that someone called Cedric put them up to burning this ship after they left it in whatever those are.
I point to the Arcana and I say, yeah, they were gonna burn the ship and it's calibrated to their weight only. So we're just gonna have to get it back
What is
from the ship.
I don't know, there might be another one. It was cloaked as a train initially. He said it was
Can I detect magic?
a submersible?
I would like to detect magic.
you may.
We're
I'm
in the.
going to. Do I have to roll?
No, you very quickly you do whatever you do, and the other train is a train, for real. The only thing that is magical here, you can feel a sense of energy. It would be kind of like evocation magic, I guess, but it's for sure got like a dormant energy source inside this Arcanii, the submarine looking thing, and also the keg. The keg is, on the front of the keg, you can see a rune that you might recognize, probably understand. It practically turns on and off a programmed illusion, is a spell that you would understand, maybe not know, to project the image of a train there kind of thing and cover this thing up. That's really all the magic there is here.
Okay. Do I need to cast something to try and understand what this is specifically? What this little mini submarine golden thing is?
I think I don't think that really you know. I think Arcanii, although you guys, I think all of you would have a pretty similar understanding because you're all relative experts on it. This thing is clearly something. I mean, you can determine that they were going to use it to escape, maybe burn a hole in the bottom of the ship and drop it out. And it seemed like they were going to be in it, and it's something that allows them to breathe underwater or move around underwater or stay underwater or something like that. At least survive this for whatever purpose. They obviously said they wanted to get to a designated point. What it is, how it works. You've seen a lot of Arcanii powered stuff. The train is the same thing. The trains that are used are big. They're big kind of metal machines. But they have a source of energy that enhances them. It seems to be maybe something like that. It doesn't appear to have any like weapons. It doesn't look like it's going to explode or anything. But I don't think you know exactly what it is. But you can see what it's made of.
Identify on it though, will it like reveal that?
Let's have a look, because we're in weird territory with Arcanii.
I know.
Because it's not really stuff that exists. It's not a spell necessarily, but
I feel like this is like I was given a lot of skills that are meant to like specifically hunt this stuff down though.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Choose an object. If it's a magic item, you learn its properties and how to use them. You'd understand how to use the thing, yeah. Whether it requires attunement, any spells are affecting them and stuff like that. So I think you'd probably get a damn good idea, yeah, if you do that.
I want to ritual cast it, which takes about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I like sit down and I just ignore the Goliath, I ignore everyone, I tune everyone out, and I just start trying to cast this thing.
I think you guys totally know what she's doing as well.
Yeah.
In 10 minutes, she's going to stand up and go, I can, I know Kung Fu. She does that with every Arcanii.
I'm going to say to Delia, didn't he mention the Dragonfly?
He did. I'm supposed to take it to that.
This to the Dragonfly.
Wait,
but
these two? But how? So the crew's involved? What is it?
Lyra, on your character sheet in the first episode, you didn't have a pocket watch, but now you do. And you feel it. Where is the pocket watch? It's on your person.
Breast pocket.
Yeah.
I'm usually Lyra's fully clothed, like all from head to toe to cover her fur and stuff. So I imagine I have it hanging.
You hear a strong ticking noise coming from your breast pocket. Loud.
Oh, so I didn't know that I had this. Now you're telling me it's here. Okay, so then it probably wouldn't have been in my breast pocket, like I was wearing it. But okay.
Someone probably put it on you.
Yeah, okay, then it's down probably by my waist. So then I will go and I'll reach for it and I'll pull it out and look at it.
Yeah, you pull it out
What
and
is this?
opens straight away. If you guys want to open the stream, you'll see the prepared video that I've got for the end of the stream here. As we jump over, I'll mute the music for you guys so it doesn't ruin it or whatever. We're going to jump to the little final cutscene before the end of what happens. So you pull this thing out and suddenly it opens up and you hear it as it begins to speak to you. Here is what you hear.
This is the Arch Inquisitor. We were afraid of this. You had to be kept outside of the biggest kept secret of the last 5 centuries. Thelmecia developed an Arcanii technology known, in part, as the Ward Engine. It tore Thelmecia into the ocean. Of the millions living there, only a few hundred survived. However, the Ward Engine is still active. It has been this entire time. It is why the ocean above Thelmecia's grave is a no-go zone. We believe someone has stationed themselves down there, somehow, living inside the Maelstrom. We believe that yesterday they bastardized the power of the Ward Engine and activated an Arcanii of their own. For now, you are the only Inquisitors we have available to get down there, investigate, and stop whatever these people are doing. Inquisitors, you are no longer the B Team. You're the only team we've got.
And that brings us to the end of today's session.
Oh my god.
Ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was so fucking cool.
You did good.
So did you.
Yeah. It was close, by the way. You were on a sort of timed thing. Like any moment now, she was going to go down there and just explode the bottom of the ship, and that would have been how you had to deal with it. Like it was real. If you guys didn't get, like, it was just on a, obviously because of the stream.
timer.
We ran a little late, and I'm sorry, but yeah, there was a point where if you got because I didn't know if you would just because you could have walked straight over to Zan and charmed him, because that's really all you did there. Is that you charmed him and he was like, "Oh, you're one of us," and yeah. So yeah, I also saw someone very early on in the stream be like, "That accent's fake," and that's exactly why I did it. I was like, I'm gonna juke them out because they're gonna think that I'm okay with doing American accents because of future aura. But actually,
that's why I kind of like whenever I was talking to what's his face, Goodtail, I was like, this guy.
Yeah.
But then I also kind of wanted. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to get Delia laid. Anyway.
Hey, there's no saying it didn't happen. Between now and the next time we see these guys, maybe we'll jump in and they'll be married or something. I don't know.
He was about to go defend her. And then fight her.
He was about to fight her.
He was about to fight her to the death.
I can only imagine that's going to turn them on a fair bit.
That's how it is. Who knows? Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe we'll find out. I don't know.
Cast shield. We're good.
Maybe we'll find out. All right, we ran over a little bit, so let's do a round of shout outs and then we'll see you guys next time. Let's start with our guest here, Tuesday, since you're not going to be here next week, unless someone vanishes and is unavailable next week, which is a great way to force me to continue with this side of the campaign, by the way, if you just would leave.
First of all, thank you. That was super fun. And yes, I will pinch hit anytime it's needed. This is a very interesting and fun campaign. So thank you guys, especially Brad, for putting this together. And if you guys want to see more of me, maybe someday that'll happen if you follow me at /TuesdayGray on Twitch and Twitter. Thanks for watching.
What about you, Pocket? Where can people find you?
It was awesome having Tuesday here, and this was a really fun. I didn't know what this was gonna be like. I was really nervous, but it was super fun, and I got to play someone that was still evil, but way different. Way different. I'm Pocket, P-O-K-K-E-T. You can find me at Pocket on Twitter and Twitch. I stream every day but Monday. I will be going to my dad's this week, but I will be available for roleplay and streaming from there. And yeah, I had a lot of fun. This was really exciting. I got to see what the B Team was about.
This is
no longer the B Team.
No longer the B
Team.
Yeah.
No longer. And I'm a Dro, but I didn't want to do the face paint. I'm sorry. I just kind of like shaded my cheeks gray a little.
Yeah, no, I 100% would never have done it either. Oh my god. Anyway, KPP. Where can people find you? What are you doing?
You can find me at Katie Peters Plays. Today was fun and I got to live out my best Trek life. So thank you for this. Yeah, I play a lot of sci-fi and horror games on my channel, even though I'm playing a game about the Canadian wilderness right now. But yeah, and I'm here next Saturday for Reaper Relay, where I play a Solarian.
Yes! It's so good! Sorry.
I'm really excited about that. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern. So it's a late night show on Saturday, but it's a lot of fun. And yeah, thanks for accepting Infidelia and all of her creepiness.
What about you, PB?
What am I doing? I don't even know. Does it even matter? Reaper Relay on Saturday. I do production on that. So basically I sit there with popcorn and do sounds and stuff, but I get to watch and enjoy. And yeah, I stream and do shit on my own channel sometimes too, but I think that's it other than ZBO. ZBO is going to be a crazy episode this week.
Oh my God, I don't even know.
Come watch that.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be something.
Yes.
That's tomorrow night. ZBO is our Lancer, which is kind of like a Gundam show. And tomorrow's a bit of a one-shot as well. So if you wanted to see a similar kind of situation where we just do some slightly off, you don't need to have watched any of it to probably enjoy it tomorrow, then join us. Well,
I want to say one more thing. I want to shout out Lucifer, who did a great fan art and really captured the essence of Ellie.
Yeah, it was so
good.
Regards.
Link it in the chat. I'll put it in the description if you're watching on the VODs and stuff as well. And because it's dope. Also, the Goliath Vickle is a Patreon NPC that was submitted by Point. And also, there was a merchant that you didn't speak to
Yeah.
called
What about the-
Herbert.
I thought
who
about
wa-
it.
The one with the pipe, right?
I
Yeah.
wanted to, but
I wanted to as
see-
well.
I wanted to
Herbert
speak to him
is a
so badly.
merchant who sells oregano who was on the ship. And maybe I'll fit him in somewhere else. I'm now going to give him some sort of magical properties to maybe show up somewhere else. You know, like
Hell
Sid
yeah.
or something in Final Fantasy where he just showed
I
up.
feel
'cause-
like he would have heard us at least because he was like right there at the like stairs down.
Yeah, so maybe he comes down after.
Yeah.
Maybe
Like-
he had a dragonfly tattoo as well, but who knows? Probably he just sells
Yeah, that's
oregano.
what I'm wondering.
Probably
I
he,
wonder.
probably he just sells oregano. He also just in case we never see him again, he is very well endowed. So
Oh,
I didn't.
okay.
I didn't write
Well,
it. Didn't write it.
It's good. to
So
know.
thanks, Point. Thanks, Shizuki, and obviously the whole team were kind of Patreon NPCs by some of the Inquisition on Discord.
Yes.
If you want to join the Inquisition, then head on over to the Tablestory Discord. There is a very active Dying Order channel. You can go in and just chat shit with everybody and see what you think and what you think's going on. There's a lot of theory crafting and things in there, and that is how you join the Inquisition yourselves. Thanks very much for watching. This was the second Inquisition mission, and the third one's going to be something else. Probably, it's going to be something for sure.
I'm taking over a full-time role of matchmaker. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe we'll cut to 15 years in the future where the Goliath and the half-orc are living happily on a farm with 45 children fighting each other. Who knows? Find out next time on the next episode. Thanks for playing, players. We'll see you soon,
Thank
Tuesday.
you.
Thanks for jumping in for us. And we'll
Anytime.
return with the main story next week, probably. Bye.
Later, dudes.
Bye.